Introducing Pubcoin. Pubcoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into Pubcoins. Pubcoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to Gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the Gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! Here he goes. There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here, oh, look at Nussflush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can. Kenny Can wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can Smoking Mirrors. Director 97 home. That is the way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado Custodian. Billy Friedrich. Joe's one all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
From the corporate Peter Low Shack, legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a Dom. Father young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, when we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio, bizarre. Is a man named Slaughter and he flipped the script. No competition in this they quit the trip. But we say we be pubbing, betting with the bag and you love it. You want a top 10, we above it. Let's check.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, December 3rd to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Man, the battle is real. The battle is real. Finished the NFL show late last night, hammering the card every waking moment. Can't sleep. NHL. It's like I made a deal with the devil. Have a big NFL season. And if I have one, then I'll get crushed in NHL. It's just driving me crazy, man. Red Wings -1, 5-2 in the third. Have to push that shit. Very, very frustrated. Frustrated in NHL. It's keeping me awake. Just the battle, man. No one ever said this shit was going to be easy. NBA at 60% against the spread to start the year, 14.16 ROI. Do you think I'd rather have that than and getting crushed in NHL? No. I'm upset. I'm upset. Thank you guys for joining us. We're back in business. A monster week awaits. We have action here ready to go. Stacks play today. I'm missing Stacks play today number 1. We got number 2 here. Spurs over 234.5. I wonder if he must have put it in real early. Shout out to our guy Justin McKelvey. Let's get this copied and pasted. Trill OG play of the day from LJ is the first half over 118.5. Let's get this all copied and pasted so we can rock. I'm a shaky mess today. You can probably hear it in my voice, see it in my face. The life of a gambler. Oh, man. I thought being a comic was a tough life. Shit. Adam Lastman, MMA Mad Hatter in the house. We got Matty Ice. We have Taint. Taint coming in. Trill OG. We got Stacks. We are locked and loaded. Plays of the day rolling in. A Dizzy Donut on Lipscomb first half -5.5 in Alabama. First half money line. A parlay. We did bypass the 12 p.m. games, but we have NCAA basketball content here. Wine Time Sports has picked 5 games. 3 games he's moved on. 2 he might move on. I have 2 games that I've moved on. First half spots here. Barry Smith in the house. Man, Bear, Pig. Barry Smith saying, any dogs today in NCAA basketball? Yeah, we got dogs for you. I got dogs for you. Both my spots are dogs at 7 p.m. First half, though. First half dogs. We're going to get into it. We're going to start with NHL. And there are 2 or 3 bets I want to make in NHL. And I was like, look, you're a shaky mess. Just talk it out before you bet it. Lines aren't moving that egregiously, except for the Sabres Flyers line. I mean, it's just deja vu from the Penguins game, but we'll get into that here. We'll get into that shortly. Nate Dogg, 420 in the house. Ronnie Lofton ready to go. He's on that first half with Lipscomb as well. Serious business ready to go. Londo says, today's a beautiful day to make some money. Shout out to Londo here. Get some more coffee in me. Wine Time says, big day loading. We got Johnny Blaze. Flank steak from Johnny Blaze. Flank steak play of the days in is the New York Knicks. New York Knicks' flank steak. We have Arkansas. I'm going to go over some of the college basketball games that we're going to be breaking down here with Wine Time Sports. I'm excited. We haven't had a full year of Wine Time hammering college basketball with me. So I'm excited about all that. And their stacks play today, number 1. Central Connecticut plus 16.5. Let's get that right above. Stacks number 2. Thank you for sharing that with us, Justin. I need, sometimes, you need a little inspiration. Man. Fucking back's full of knots. Can't sleep because NHL's just keeping me awake at night. Sometimes you need a little inspiration to get going. So let's hear. I want to see some of our plays of the day just to be inspired. To go out there, fucking take my bookies fucking money. Let's see Stacks play of the day. Let's see the video. Central Connecticut plus 16.5. Magic Spurs over 234.5. Let's see that money being counted. Let's get ready to make some money this week. Get this fucking cash.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
We have AM already moving on action for tomorrow's NHL card. We'll have Bobano with us for that. Let's get this all copied and pasted so we can discuss it and study it. Stacks plays of the day are in. Taint is in. Sweet, sweet Taint. Youngstown State minus 3.5. He's also on Central Connecticut. a plus 16.5. So we have the corner of Stacks and Taint. Toby Lane, best bet today, Mammoth money line. I want to ride Ville Husso to get his career back so badly. I backed him against the Blues. I want him here. Grant Clarkson in the house. I'm a little nervous, though, about the spot, and I certainly don't want to go up against Toby Lane. I am saying no, the best spot on the board is the Sabres. I mean, the market is screaming that. We saw this. Look, I wanted to be on the Flyers when they played the Penguins. That was our Monday night live stream. But you couldn't. That massive move over to the Penguins, which was extremely difficult, especially all the money we're making off the Flyers. And now we have it again with the Sabres. Look, I know Josh North's back. We're going to get right into that here shortly. The Goracle in the house. Gorky played the number 1 Virginia moneyline and Washington moneyline in college basketball. The Goracle ready to get to work here. Great to see you, Gorky. Great to see all of you guys. So I think I've got all the action. I think we're ready to attack. We have Stacks in. We have Tainton. The only thing we're missing right now, we need to have a call out for sweet Pig Milk. Where are you? Pig Milk, where are you? The nuke worker in the house, Sean Pulliam. Let's get to work. Barry Smith liking UCLA tonight. So let me just give you a little heads up about how this show is going to bang out. My NHL record is going to come up on the screen in a few seconds when we start NHL, and I'm going to, probably dive into some sort of ditch, and try to not fucking wallow in self-pity and be a little bitch. And we're going to cap the 5-game NHL card. Then we have college basketball. So this is this is our schedule. We start with our guy Wine Time. He's on Indiana Hoosiers, Minnesota Golden Gophers. That's where he gets his card started. And then I hammer 2 games. The big ones: New Hampshire, Dartmouth, and Harvard, Massachusetts. The big ones. Then we go into the ACC, SEC Men's Challenge. Wine Time's got action on Louisville, Arkansas. We have LSU, Boston College, Virginia, Texas. And we close the show with UCLA, Washington Huskies here. All right. It is time to get to work. Thank you guys for joining us. And look, just before we get into NHL and that fucking record comes up that's cost me so much money, it's taken all my profits from the NFL season away. I'm not going to keep telling you guys, oh, look, I beat NHL every year. I'm not. It's enough of that bullshit. Just go do it. Go fucking show it. We don't need to hear your stupid fucking same thing every day. Oh, I go down 20 units last year. I'm not going to drop that bullshit. Just saying that for myself to hear it. So I'm not saying the goddamn saying, let's prove it here. Let's prove it, because this is an absolute mess. Let's get into the National Hockey League right now. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern with the Dallas Stars 17-5-5, 9-1-4 on the road. New Jersey Devils 16-9-1, 9-2-1 at home. We're at Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. We got Kong's Clips saturated in the house. We got Kong's Clips here. Louisville -3.5, -105 is his play of the day. We will be discussing that with Wine Time Sports and all these great cappers in the chat. We're going to go right into college basketball right after NHL. The show actually will not be of our 4-hour variety. We're going to slow down a bit. We're going to start rolling into the conference championship games in college football tomorrow and on Friday. I got Kong's Clips play of the day right there under ACC SEC Men's Challenge. Barry Smith giving us a final score of 4-2 Dallas. And, I knew that AM was going to be on the Devils, and I want to join him. And I know, Barry Smith, that Dallas is the better hockey team. And look, and you're right, Barry, Dallas is a wagon. And Barry, you'll be very comfortable anytime you're on the opposite side of me in the National Hockey League. I knew that AM would be on the snapped winning streak bet. Bet against team whose winning streak of length 3+ games was just snapped in their previous game. Make the bet only if the team you're betting is a money line that's better than -150. Let's get this copied and pasted here, and let's discuss this spot to get us started. Nate Dogg on New Jersey money line as well. Nate Dogg 420 in the house. I like to see that. So let's talk Stars Devils here. The Stars are 9-1-4 on the road. They have played 14 road hockey games, and they've lost in regulation once. Just once. They've been handling injuries. They've been doing everything with aplomb here. The Devils have played in 12 home games. They've only lost in regulation twice. So something's got to give, or this game is going to overtime. You have Ottinger here, 10-4-2, 2.86 goals against, average .898, save percentage, 1 shutout. He is probably a fragile mess. He's probably as shaky as I am right now, losing his number one role on the team to Casey DeSmith, who is not the goaltender he is. We imagine that he's going to get it back, but Casey DeSmith was good, very good again last night, even though they took the L. And Jacob Markstrom is who I've got listed. Let me know if Jacob Markstrom is listed. He is bad. Look, I've been saying that since the Canucks were able to unload him to the bad is a little much. Now he's been bad this year, .874 save percentage. But let me know if he's in. These are listed from last night and early this morning. Dallas power play, second best in the National Hockey League at 31.9%. Jason Robertson is being an absolute monster, something that was missing from the Stars last year. 80.5% penalty killing for the Stars is ranked 20th. The Devils have the 5th ranked power play and the 7th ranked penalty kill, even with Hughes out of the lineup. And for Dallas, playing without Seguin for so long, they're still delivering on the power play. And that's because Seguin's not that big of a piece. Now, he'd be on that number one power play, but they have Robertson, they have Rupi Hintz, they have, huge weapons on that team. So let's talk about the situation and the line history here for this one. I've got all the injury report stuff up. I don't need this anymore. Okay, let's get the line history up for this first spot on the board. First off, the New Jersey Devils are sitting here at -113. They opened up at -107, and it quickly moved towards them. It was an 8-cent move within the first 10 minutes this line was available. From a total standpoint, it's a 6. It's -115 to the under. I opened up -120 to the under. It's been a 5-cent move here. Thank you, Coin, saying that Markstrom's likely. Grant Clarkson also talking about Wyatt Johnston, who is such a beast. I know he's been a little overshadowed by Jason Robertson this year, and Mikko Rantanen, who is, being an absolute monster. I can understand that here, my man. And so let's roll here. The Stars are on the second half of a back-to-back after falling 3-2 in overtime at the Rangers last night. That snapped their 4-game winning streak. This is a very difficult situation. And look at that. Seguin expected to miss the rest of the regular season. Wow, Gorkel. That is huge because this injury report is real. No Seguin, no Adam Ernie for a while. But they also lost Matt Duchene to an upper body injury last night versus the Rangers. He's questionable to play tonight. So this is such a difficult spot. Now, I know there's not been travel here when you play the Devils and the Rangers. You don't need to really worry about that. But this is their 3rd game in 4 nights, the end of a mini 2-game trip. They host the Sharks on Friday night, and they've been dealing with all these injuries all year long. We just talked about Seguin, Ernie, and Duchene out. Now they have 3 defensemen in Thomas Harley, Liam Bichsel, and Nils Lundqvist out. Now they've had those guys out for a while, but that's a lot to lose. The Devils coming off their 2nd straight loss to start out this 4-game homestand. They lost 5-3 to Philadelphia on Saturday night, and then they lose to this at the same score to Columbus on Monday. And they've been dealing with injuries all year as well. Jack Hughes, Dodonov, Zach McEwen up in the forward side of things. On defense, they're playing without Brett Pesce, Jonathan Kovacevic, and they also lost Brendan Dillon. That was kind of sad. He's such a G. It's his 1,000th game in the NHL. Of course, he wants to fight somebody, and he gets injured in the fight. And, it's a loss. This guy's a heart and soul player here. I tell you what, situationally, I want to fade the Stars. The Devils team that's 9-2-1 just lost 5-3 in back-to-back games. Those were their first two regulation losses at home this year. How do we not think that they're going to not step up in game 3 here? Barry Smith says, no Hughes, no win. And I get it, Barry. And you could so easily be absolutely right in AM and I on the wrong side of things. So easily. It's such a legitimate outcome, and you are on the better hockey team. But second half of the back-to-back overtime game, you lose Duchesne. You have to fly out in the morning back home. Your third game in 4 nights against the Devils team that's lost twice at home, 5-3. Toby Lane says, want to bet the Devils, but I just can't. I get it. Philly Eagle Flyer on the Stars in the draw. All of that stuff makes sense, but I'm going to have to ride with AM here on the New Jersey Devils. I'm going to have to in this spot. And I wanted to talk it out. Make sure I have the balls. Steve G on the over 6. Let's roll on to game 2. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The Winnipeg Jets 13-12-0, 7-7-0 on the road. The Montreal Canadiens 13-9-3, 6-6-1 at home at the Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec. Jakob Dobish is expected to be in net here for the Habs. 4th-ranked power play, 25.4%, and 25th-ranked special penalty kill, 77.1%. And this this Jets team is falling apart, and it's crazy. They've been such a good team since 2017. I mean, even if you go back to 2011, when they first came back over to Winnipeg, this is a team that always wins more games than they lose. Now, if you count overtime losses, those first years they didn't handle that. But ever since 2017, they've been winning and winning and winning. They just haven't been delivering in the playoffs, but they've been winning. And it's wild watching them take these beatings. They're just taking beatings. Barry Smith, I feel you. You should have confidence, and you should have even more confidence being on the other side of me right now. Johnny Blaze says both the Habs and Jets seem like they're falling apart. Absolutely. And let's talk about the spot, because I want to back the Jets. I really do. The problem is you have both Comrie and Milic understanding how difficult it is without Hellebuck anywhere around. Now, if you have Hellebuck there, playing 5 of every 6 games, you come in for every 6th game, and the pressure is not on you, and you can go out there and play well in front of a great defense. It's not happening. They both look terrible. They're saying that Milic is going to start here. We don't know who is going to start. Then we have this Winnipeg power play ranked 10th. And penalty killing ranked 6th, 83.9%. Let's get into the line history here for this one. And let's talk about the angle for AM here. He says the poorest defense. Bet on teams that allowed 4+ goals in each of their last 2 games. Bet on them if they're at home and underdogs today. We have Nate Dogg here on Montreal moneyline. Suzuki 1 goal, Caulfield 1 assist. Peanut on Stars moneyline, Habs moneyline, and the Sabres moneyline. Let's talk about this line here. First off, let's talk about the total. It's a 6.5, as one would guess. It opened up at 6, very heavily juiced to the over. It's now taken that next step into the 6.5 range. It is minus 115 to the under, but clearly a move towards the over. When we get to the cash flow here, we have the Winnipeg Jets minus 117. They opened up at minus 105. And honestly, I want to follow the market here. I want to follow the market. They come in off their 5th loss in 6 games, 5-1 at Buffalo on Monday. This is the end of an ugly 5-game road trip. I mean, come on. You're at the Bell Center, Montreal, Quebec. You can't put it all together for one game. They've been outscored 23-13 over this 6 games that they've lost. That includes a 5-2 win at Nashville. They're dealing with injuries to Hellebuck and also Pionk and Hayden Fleury on defense, but they've been dealing with that for a while. Our guy AM saying that there's U-shaped movement. Now, not where I'm shopping it, not where I'm using my line history. Opened up at minus 105, got to minus 107, got to minus 115, got to minus 118. So there's been 1 cent of buyback. Habs now plus 103. Let me look at a book that I think might be even sharper here to see if that is the case. And not here either. The Habs opened up at minus 110. They're now minus 102. I'm guessing that you are talking about what's going on probably at like a circa. Let's take a look at circa what they're doing with this spot here. They have, let's see. Oh, yeah, you're right. They have the Winnipeg got up to minus 116 at 740, and there's been 4 cents of buyback. There was 6, but another 2 cent move. So, no, I feel you, man. But I do want to follow the money. There's my guy, just my 2 cents in the house. Justin McKelvey on the over 6 at -120. And Peanut saying that Pionk has a chance to play tonight. Toby Lane says Habs are a mess. Indeed, St. Louis is losing his bench, and Pionk is in. That's a nice boost for them here. Habs are on the second half of back-to-back after suffering their second straight ugly loss 5-2 at home to the Senators last night. This is the end of a mini 2-game homestand, and they have a break. They play at Toronto on Saturday night. That's their next spot. They're without centers Kirby Dach, Alex Newhook, right winger Patrick Laine, and defenseman Caden Gooley, who's a beast. I don't like fading teams that lose the first half of back-to-back badly at all. But it could be that the Habs are just a mess right now. And you obviously you could say the exact same thing about the Jets, but I feel like I should follow the money here on this one. It was my instinct from last night. It was just that Montreal, both teams are in sort of pressure cooker environments. Now, we can take it a little away from Winnipeg, even though that's, the big fish in the tiny pond. Montreal is a high pressure environment. I almost never fade a team after losing badly in game one of a back-to-back. Almost never. And maybe I shouldn't do it here. I certainly lean towards the Jets in this spot. I certainly lean there. But I'm going to take some time with that. Maybe it's better just to stay off. I am close to the Winnipeg Jets. Let's move on to game 3 here. Just an absolutely insane market. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, the Buffalo Sabres at the Philadelphia Flyers. Sabres 11-11-4, 2-6-2 on the road. Flyers 14-8-3, 8-4-2 at home. Xfinity Mobile Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They have Colton Ellis listed. I find it hard to believe that Luukkonen won't be in net here, but they had Colton Ellis listed. 3.13 goals against average, 8.97 save percentage. Luukkonen has just an 8.99 save percentage, but he's going to be the number one. I'm got to be in here. AM's on the Sabres money line plus 100 says the blowout. Bet a team that just blew its previous opponent by 3-goal margin or more. So only the team in question is a road underdog. AM saying it's also the snapped winning streak. Bet against the team whose winning streak of 3+ was snapped in their previous game. Make the bet only the team you're betting on is money line that's better than minus 150. Grant Clarkson saying that he loves the Sabres here. This line move is exactly the line move we saw when Philadelphia played Pittsburgh. It's even bigger. I mean, this is one of the biggest moves. When was the last time we saw a move this big that wasn't injury related? I couldn't tell you. The Sabres opened up at 12:49 p.m. yesterday at plus 113, and they're now minus 130. A 43-cent move towards the Sabres. It also, though, and Gorky will, of course, remember this spot, it also is reminiscent of the line in the Mammoth Sharks game on Monday night. The line moved so heavily to the Mammoth, it made no sense. It made no sense that they could be that big of a favorite. And what happened? They lost badly to the Sharks. Insane. NMB 431 says Josh Norris back is huge. Yes, and he will be a very good top 6 forward for them for 3 games until his shoulder pops out again. It's sad. It's going to drive the fan base absolutely bananas when you see how good he is when he's in a lineup and he takes one check and he's out. It's as if he has, huge concussion issues. It's not that Cousins is a better player than him. He's not close. It's just that they know that Cousins is going to be able to play, whereas this China doll, Josh Norris, can't skate into the corner. I mean, if you were a fan, every time you see him skating towards the corner, you would scream, but you don't want him, playing around the periphery. And, it's but he is a very talented forward when he's playing, and he's a huge character guy. They love him in the room. Dan Vladar, the goaltender on the other side, 10-5-1, 2.59 goals against average, 906 save percentage, 0 shutouts. I want to back the Flyers. The Sabres begin a real tough 6-game road trip tonight here. And they come on off that dominant game, 5-1 win in Norris's first game back. He goes for 2 goals and assists. They're getting healthy finally. They're missing Kesselring on defense and Danforth and Jurek Kulak up front, but they're much healthier than they've been all year. They had this Flyers team had won 5 of 6 games before opening up this homestand with an ugly 5-1 loss to the Penguins. So there's no way that I don't want to fade the Habs off a 5-2 loss on the first half of a back-to-back. I don't want to fade the Flyers. I want to back the Flyers. And I wanted to back the Flyers against Pittsburgh, but the market told me not to. So here again, and they did lose Tyson Forster to an upper body injury in that 5-1 loss to the Penguins. It's too bad. But it's going to give Michkov another chance to be a top 6 forward, which we know he's got the skill set to do. Urson confirmed here for Philly. So it's Urson tonight. That's got to be a reason here for the line move, as he's been terrible. Vladar has been okay. Not good, but he would look good for a while. Look, I'm not going to fade the Flyers in this situation, but good God, I respect a 43-cent move from dog to favorite plus 113 to minus 130 is insane. So I'm going to just have to stay off of this hockey game. I'm not going to follow the money if it doesn't correlate with my action, although I agree that Norris is back, and that's a big deal. So that's the situation here. This total is a 6. It's minus 120 to the over. I'd open up minus 110 to the over. We've had a 10-cent move towards the over. I'm not on this game, but I do want to move on these two games. Toby Lane has given us his best bet. It's on the Utah Mammoth here. Utah Mammoth 12-12-3, 5-9-2 on the road at the Anaheim Ducks, 16-9-1, 9-3-0 home at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. We have Karel Vejmelka listed. Not sure if he's going to play. Both goalies took it in the bottom mouth in that last game in San Jose. Ville Husso had his first good game in the National Hockey League this year, and he has a chance to be a starting goaltender in the National Hockey League right now with the injury to Dostal and Mrazek playing so poorly. AM is on Mammoth, says a scoring drought bet. Bet on teams losing its past 2 games while scoring at most 3 goals in each of those defeats. Bet on them tonight if they're on the road to the money line that's better than minus 125. Let's hit this one and take a look at the line history here. We have the total at 6.5. It's minus 116 to the over. It's taking 1 cent of love. That's it. And then on the line, on the money line here for this one, we have no movement. I mean, what are we seeing from the marketplace with the Ducks and the Sharks is that the market just does not respect what they've done this year. And I respect the market very, very much, but I just think that they're behind on how good these two hockey teams are. And I want to fade the Mammoth coming off their 4th straight loss, 6-3 at the Sharks on Monday. Again, I don't like fading teams after they look terrible, but what's wrong with this team? They have snipers that aren't sniping. This is the worst power play in the National Hockey League at 13.2%, 80.5% penalty kill. Anaheim's power play is 19.3%, just 15th, and their penalty kill is worse at 75.6%, 27th. The Mammoth have lost the first 3 games of this 6-game road trip by a combined score of 11-6. They're missing Oli Mata, who is a veteran. He's a vet on the back end. They're also missing center Alex Kerfoot. The Ducks coming off a 4-1 win at the Blues on Monday night, and this is game 1 of a 3-game homestand. And Grant Clarkson says, Houston was a shot can, and Detroit will continue to do so. Yeah, look, I get it. But I also, and this is a problem here at times, is I do tend to romanticize certain situations in the sports that I love the most. And I believe here that we have a guy in Ville Husso who realizes right now, and he's an older guy, he's got a chance to have a career in the NHL again if he steps up. And that's what he did in St. Louis. He stepped up. And I think he can do that here. I want the Ducks. Again, it doesn't work perfectly because the Mammoth are coming off getting destroyed by the Sharks. And this is just game 4 of a 6-game road trip. I mean, I would like them to lose to the Ducks here, and then we can back them against the Canucks. I mean, I'm going to back them against the Canucks regardless, but I want the Ducks. Here. AM says 2 wins last 10 at 5 wins last 10. So pick him with tickets pouring in on the Ducks. Look, I get it. And I try not to get too caught up in the cash flow for hockey, but here we have 75% of the tickets, but just 26% of the cash. All the big bets are coming in on Utah. I think that just has to be respected. I don't see how. I hate saying this. Toby Lane says, I don't know how someone can bet on Ville Husso. Now, if that's the feeling, then I'll bet on them again because that's what everybody said in St. Louis. What did he do? I mean, it's all about, it's very difficult being a goaltender because it's a head game. It's all psychological so often. And he had a great hockey game, and now he gets to start again. And if he has another great hockey game, well, look at there. Remember how much equity and cash the Red Wings invested in him after that year where he was the number one goaltender in St. Louis, and then he went back to St. Louis. Maybe that was the angle there. Grant Clarkson saying the Ducks can sometimes outscore their problems. There's our guy Guillermo Zertucci in the house. Res Mob ready to get to work. So look, I don't know. I don't like looking at the cash flow in NHL, except for spots where it is a pick'em type cash environment. So honestly, I should probably let this go. Why would a team that's but this is the same story we had in the Sharks game. Why would a team that's 5-9-2 on the road against the Sharks team at that point was 8-4-3 at home be such a huge favorite? Barry Smith on the Ducks team total over says Ducks win 5-4. Nate Dogg 4-20 on Anaheim money line. Cutter Gauthier 1 goal. Kreider 2 shots on goal. Let's talk about the final spot on the board here. Look, I was on the Kings last night, and that shorthanded goal they allowed to make it 2-1 top of the third period was just a punch in the stomach, and then Trevor Moore getting slashed on his hands and his stick breaking while tanking a one-timer and not getting called a penalty. It was so frustrating to watch. And when you're in a defeatist mentality, bad shit happens, And I don't know how the Capitals can do this. How can they keep winning like this? They've won 5 straight, 8 of 9. And look, I'm starting to really believe in the hockey team. But they beat the Islanders 4-1 on Long Island on Sunday night. On Monday, they wake up, they fly right across the continent. On Tuesday, they wake up, they beat the LA Kings 3-1. Then they fly right after that game up to San Jose. They're probably sleeping right now. How are they able to handle this? Now they have Charlie Lindgren in net with an .886 save percentage. This team is playing at an extremely high level, but this is such a difficult schedule. I mean, how can they handle this? And I'm going to sit here and expect them not to be able to. But the Sharks aren't in the perfect situation either. They leave for a long 5-game road trip that starts at Dallas on Friday, and they've been without their second overall pick, Michael Misa, Alex Wenberg, a couple centers, and Vincent Desharnais, a defenseman. The Caps are playing without Pierre-Luc Dubois and Nick Dowd. I hate that they started a 5-game road trip tomorrow. It's not generally the time I want to back them, but they're going to be excited that Ovi's coming to town. This is a young hockey team. Phil Eagle Flyer on the Caps team total over. I'm a fan of Yaroslav Axe-Boutmy. A fan. I think he's going to be a really good goaltender in the NHL. He's a cocky kid. He wants to be a number one. I think there's a big goaltending advantage. And the crazy thing about what the Capitals are doing, and it's a similar thing to what the Avalanche are doing, is they're winning all of these hockey games despite poor special teams. The Capitals have the 22nd ranked power play. Now it's moving up, which we knew would happen at some point, and the 29th ranked penalty killing. The Sharks have much better special teams. 16th ranked power play at 19.2%, 12th ranked penalty killing at 81.7%. Shout out to Curtis Berry in the house. So JP says Kings suck. I watched them 1-0 versus Van. They suck. I don't think they suck. I know that they have problems offensively, but I don't think they suck. We watched them go out east and win 5 of 6 games on a win their first 4 games on a road trip against tough teams. I still will back them, but obviously they're very dull offensively, and it does wreak havoc here. So I don't know how I don't bet the Sharks. I mean, I know how. You say, the Capitals won 8-9. You can try and catch a falling knife. The Capitals opened up at -148. They're now -153. The first move was towards the Sharks, went down to -142, and then bounced up this morning. Look, the Capitals are playing with a ton of character right now, but how can they keep doing this? And JPZ, you're right. They don't shoot enough. And last night's game is irritating. And 3 shots in the first period. You have a team flying across the continent in their first game of a road trip without that day break, and you can't fire at them. I have to bet the Sharks here. I can't. Their third game in 4 nights. And where were they? New York Islanders, Los Angeles, and San Jose. That's so hard. That's so difficult. You get up for the Kings, sure. Are you going to be able to get up for the Sharks? Okay, so I have to move on the Sharks. So let's just do a review here. I also should have been on that under in the Kings Capitals game, but I didn't get a chance to break the whole game down with you guys. If I had, I know I would have been on that under. Let's review action here. I have to move on the Devils. Do not, when I'm on the other side of Barry Smith, it doesn't go well for me. AM is on the Devils as well. That's a snap winning streak bet. I have to. And then I'm going to bet the Jets here. I'm going to trust the market. I'm going to go with it. But if I didn't, it would just because I don't want to fade Montreal in the second half back-to-back after losing 5-2. But the Jets are coming off a horrific game. I think I can talk myself into this here. A coin saying Smith for San Jose is the goods. Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini. Macklin Celebrini at some point in his career will take the Stanley Cup and hand it over to Will Smith at some point in his career. That's how good they are. This move towards the Sabres plus 113 to minus 130 is massive. Absolutely massive, and I can't mess with that. Shout out to Kent Davies in the house. Then I don't think I'm very hesitant, even though we just watched Gorky cash with the Sharks when I was like, look at this. Why is the line the way it is? And we have a similar situation here. I think I have to stay off of the Ducks. Truly difficult. And then the Sharks. So what would that leave me with? That would leave me with the Sharks, Jets, and Devils, which isn't exactly what I planned fully because I really thought I was going to be on the Ducks. I knew that I was going to have to either be on the Sabres or pass. And that also means no totals. Shout out to my guy, Louis Pepe in the house. All right, that is NHL for Wednesday, December 3rd. Kent Davies is on the Sharks team, total over 3 at plus money. I like that. I do fear team totals against the Capitals. They're just playing such a accountable, sharp hockey. They're well coached. They're a well coached team here. We have to move on. Don't have to. We choose to move on to college basketball here for Wednesday, December 30th. We have 7 games we're attacking, and then it's Derl going to be joining us for the NBA. I'm excited about this opportunity because I've not had a full year of capping college basketball with our next guest. We've seen what he has done in Major League Baseball, in college football, and in the NBA. He's having just a phenomenal season. Please welcome from Los Angeles, California, the star of walk-off wagers, the star of betting with the bag, our guy, Wine Time Sports. Wine Time, how are you?
Jimmy the Bag, happy Wednesday, man. I think it's been almost 2 weeks since we actually got to cap on camera together. So I'm excited for this opportunity. As I told you last night, I took 3 days off, guys. It's the most days I took off in probably a couple of years. Never take 3 days off. I had to get my mind right. It's right. I'm ready to cap with you today, my friend. We've got plays locked and loaded. Got Darryl coming on. It's going to be a 3-headed monster today. I'm excited to cap with you, man. Let's get it.
Let's get it. So we are going to start with 1 game for Wine Time. Then we're going to roll into my 2 spots. Then we're going to go back into 4 games for our guy, Wine Time Sports. Let me set this up. AM, I would like to hear more about it, my friend. So I'm sure I can get that in our Discord, but I would love to hear more about it. It's been an up and down season for me here in college basketball. Low volume. I'm just sitting 38 bets in and 20 and 18, and I'm okay with that. We have action both from a ton of cappers in here, but we have AM's action as well. Going to get this copied and pasted here. We have Matty Ice's action. So we have action for him in the Arkansas game, which we will be talking about here. So let's get to work. We start with the number 22 ranked Indiana Hoosiers. The Indiana Hoosiers heading to Minnesota Golden Gophers, both opening up their Big Ten account here in Williams Arena in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Hoosiers have been rolling, and we'll go over their season. They did have one game against Marquette in a neutral, but all the rest of the games have been in very comfortable, easy surroundings, and almost all of the games they've won by margin. The interesting spot was they laid an egg against Incarnate Word and only won by 8, but all of the other games have been by margin. We saw them beat up on Kansas State by 17, and just this Saturday, they took out Bethune-Cookman by 44. So very easy competition here for the Hoosiers. Now they're in their first real road environment. For these Gophers, they're coming off of a couple L's themselves. We'll go over the cash flow. Let me set the cash flow up. Yes, I do have that set up. Okay, beautiful. And we'll go over the line history as well. Minnesota is coming off some ugly basketball games. They lost 77-65 in Sanford. Sorry, that was in Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls, I knew it was a neutral spot. They lost badly to the San Francisco Dons. They shot the ball well. They just got outboarded and basically just outplayed in that one. That was the beginning of 3 straight losses on neutral floors, but against a decent competition. We know the Dons are going to be really good this year. They lost 72-68 in the Acrisure Invitational. They lost both games in the Acrisure International. That was in Palm Springs. They lost 72-68 to Stanford. That was another game where they lost despite shooting the ball really well. Stanford shot 37% from the field and 26% from 3 and won that basketball game. So it just shows you the Minnesota's just not doing the little things. Then they got beaten up by the Santa Clara Broncos 86-75. And there's a game where they didn't shoot as well from 3, but every single game that we're talking about that they're losing, they're shooting the ball well enough to win basketball games. They're just not doing the little things to get those W's. 3 straight losses here. Let's take a look at the line history and see the plan of attack for our Wine Time Sports. We have this line right now with Indiana -9 at -107. This opened up at -8.5 and got up to 10.5. This was a 10.5 at 7:44 p.m. last night. So it took the line being out for 3 hours for it to move from 8.5 to 10.5. It hung out at 10.5 for a while. Now we're back at 9. We still had a half-point move towards the Hoosiers. From a total standpoint here, we have this sitting right now at 143.5. Opened up at 141.5. This got up to 147. This was a 147 at 10:07 this morning. 5.5-point move to the over, and now it's dropped back to 143.5. Feels like, I'm sure you could count on market manipulation here and some shrewd professional bettors taking these books to school here with this one. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this one. Oh, there it is right there. We're not going to have all the information we need, but we do have some. So we have 85% of the tickets and 91% of the cash on Indiana. I'll take a different site to look at the totals. Our first game on the board for you, Wine Time Sports, Hoosiers, Golden Gophers, Williams Arena, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Take it away.
Yeah, both websites are telling us something similar here on Action and Wager Talk, that the public very much is on this Indiana Hoosiers team. I mean, as I would probably expect. I mean, the number 22 team in the nation, Minnesota, coming off 3 straight losses here. You guys know me. Last year, I backed Minnesota quite a bit. Grabbed a new head coach this last off season. Nico Medveda is hired to replace Ben Johnson. He was the Colorado State head coach. Took him to 3 NCAAB appearances in 7 seasons. Got a nice upgraded job here at Minnesota. Minnesota's got a couple guys over there that can put the ball in the bucket. I mean, this kid, Cade Tyson, he can give you 20 on any given night. And college basketball is something I will probably still dabble with props in. And if I was going to take something in props today, it would be Cade Tyson, probably over 20.5 points, because I think he's going to eat today against the opposing small forward for Indiana, Lamar Wilkerson. Don't get me wrong, I like Tucker DeVries over there. It seems like that guy's been in college for forever. How old is this kid now? What is he? he's not too old. But with that being said here, I like Minnesota, Jim. I like this program. I mean, this is a kind of one of those programs that doesn't get a lot of NIL money. They still are able to get some talent in there. They had that big man last year. I don't know if you remember, Jim. I forgot what his name was, but I was on his props, I think, every time we were talking Minnesota basketball. He's gone now. He graduated. I forgot what his name is, but he's a stud. I think they're going to come out there, play with some heart here in Minneapolis, Minnesota at Williams Arena. This is a home game for Minnesota. This is a conference game. I think this spread is – I mean, I'm not going to take Minnesota on the money line. This isn't something that I'm going to be like, I think Minnesota wins this game outright, but I think they can stay within 9.5 points here. I got it 9, gave it out at -110 here. Minnesota Golden Gophers. I think they cover this spread. I think it's going to come down to the end. Might end up doubling up on this and take Minnesota in the first half too. That was what I was originally going to do, but I haven't really been moving on a 0-3 in first halves this year in college basketball, but doesn't mean I can't fire away at it. But as of right now, I am going to be on Minnesota. That's my play today, -9 or +9, -110. I think they can stay within double digits as of this Indiana team, especially coming off 3 losses here. They got to have some motivation coming back at home here. All that tournament that they did last week is over. I think this is going to be a nice breath of fresh air for them out there, and Minnesota can hang tight.
I like it. I like the breakdown. Wine time moving on Minnesota. The Golden Gophers +9, -110 here versus the Indiana Hoosiers, both teams opening up their Big Ten accounts. Shout out to Jose Perez in the house. We also have Res Mob, the respect play of the day. Holy Cross first half +4.5 at -120. Had the pleasure of rocking with Res Mob in Pubapalooza 2. This is our what year was this? This is Pubapalooza
5.
Is this 5 this year?
No, that's 4. Oh, I'm not sure actually.
This is 3. I think this is Pubapalooza 3.
Yeah, that's not 4 actually.
Pubapalooza 3 here. We are so excited about Pubapalooza 5. We are pumped up, man. We have the date set up March 25th to March 30th, and join us, man. It's just the best week of the year. San Antonio, Texas. That's Wemby standing in front of the Southtown 101, the mural of Wemby there at the Southtown 101. And it's going to be absolutely spectacular. So Wine Time and I will be there in full force. And join us. Pubapalooza 5, San Antonio, Texas. There's Airbnbs right around the bar. It's a very funky, cool neighborhood. And they're cheap. Don't get hotels. Airbnbs are much cheaper, and just be at the Southtown 101, all day, all night. We have the poker tournament Friday. We have the comedy show, stand-up comedy show Sunday night. That is the situation there. All right, let's roll on. Next up for us is my first spot on the board, 7 p.m. Eastern. I only have 2 bets in college basketball. New Hampshire Wildcats, 2-6, 0-5 on the road at the Dartmouth Big Green, 2-3, 1-2 at home. We're in Hanover, New Hampshire for this game. This game means a lot to the Wildcats, who've had a tough season so far. I did lose backing New Hampshire at home versus Brown, 59-47. They were in that game. If you guys remember, that was I've had such a roller coaster. Some of these mornings when I hammer 5 or 6 games with you guys, I've crushed them. And then some I've been hurt by them. And this was a day where New Hampshire was part of a losing day for me. But New Hampshire's played on the road and played in tough environments. They went to George Mason and they lost. They lost pretty bad. They went to Providence. They lost pretty bad there. And they've also, just coming off losing to Fairfield. And it is a team that in that loss to Fairfield, they jumped out of the gate. They got up 45-35 in the first half. Now I backed them full game against Brown, and that hurt me. Now they didn't cover the first half. They lost it by point, but they were in line to cover that first half throughout, and then they fell off a little bit late. But Dartmouth here is coming off destroying St. Peter's. They're also coming off a home game against a Div 3 school. That game against St. Peter's at St. Peter's was their first game in 11 days. They've played 1 game in 15 days. And yeah, they beat up on the Peacocks. That doesn't mean anything here. They feel good about themselves. They dominated the Peacocks from start to finish in that basketball game. They opened up as 1.5 point favorites and closed as 3.5 point dogs, and then demolished St. Peter's. St. Peter's shot 33% from the field and 17% from three. It was a horrific situation. But here we have the Wildcats playing in Hanover, New Hampshire. I expect them to play and be in this basketball game. I'm on them first half plus 5.5 minus 110. Let's go over the line history here for this spot and see what Wine Time thinks of my first spot on the board. New Hampshire first half plus 5.5 minus 110. That was at Bet365. It was more expensive at Sharper Books. There was a ton more juice on them at Sharper Books. Let me just see where they are right now. Sorry, take me a second to find this. This total is a 145.5. Opened up at 148. The interesting thing about it was it got up to 150. This was a 150 at 117 in the morning. Now we're all the way down to 145.5. So a big move towards the under. And then on the point spread here, quickly get over here. On the point spread, we have the New Hampshire Wildcats. Show me it's moved in my direction right now. Sorry, it's taking a second. It's not really. It's moved. It's some of the Sharper Books have moved it to 9. This also, though, there was sharp action. And usually when there's U-shaped movement, I get nervous. But this opened up at 10, and within the first 5 hours, this was available. It dropped down to 8. Got back up to 10. Now it's 9.5. We have a half-point move towards New Hampshire, and it's a move that I'm going to believe in. Take it away for us, Wine Time. My first spot on the board here is back in the New Hampshire Wildcats. First half plus 5.5 minus 110. Your plan?
Yeah, that's the side I would be on here. I think I would be on them more so in the first half here in this game. And I think you said you're doubling up on this spot. So, yeah, I like that first half look a lot, plus 5.5 they can get right now rather than the plus 9.5. I think they can hang tight with Dartmouth in the first half of this game. Where's this game going to be played at, Jim?
It's in Hanover, Lead Arena for Dartmouth.
So it's a home game for Dartmouth. I mean, this isn't a team that I'm going to be backing a lot this season. I actually was on New Hampshire. I think it was either last against Fairfield. I think it was. I got them plus the points. They ended up cashing. So I'm a little bit familiar with this team. I might get there here with you. Action's telling us right now 48% of bets, 56% of cash on New Hampshire. We want to look at the money line. 2% of bets and 0% of cash is on the money line here for New Hampshire. So it doesn't seem like anyone really believes in them. There's a lot of games on the slate today. So this is going to be a spot where I think probably either you go to one of these schools or you went to one of these schools or you're a sharp, you're probably betting this game. And I would only get to New Hampshire here on this side. That is a lot of points. I might join you there on that first half. I'm going to take a little bit more of a look at it after the show and see if we can get – do you think Wager Talk's going to give us a handle on this at all today?
No.
No, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe by 5 or 6.
Yeah. If this moves to a 9, I will probably end up moving on that first half here with you.
And that's the only spot I moved on was I did. These are not double up spots. I'm only on that first half here.
Oh, just first half. Got it. Okay.
Just first half in both of these bets are just first half spots. And they're both basketball teams I have bet and lost with that I'm going back to the window with here. So let's move on to my next spot on the board, and then we'll go over Wine Time's action. Game 2 for me is Amherst, Massachusetts, home of the Massachusetts Minutemen. We're 3-1 at home, going up against the Harvard Crimson, 5-2. This is another. So you'll notice a couple things here. New Hampshire is a battle-tested road team. What's Wine Time doing? He's fading the Indiana Hoosiers. Have they proved themselves on the road? They haven't. And so for those situations when a team hasn't proven themselves on the road, I generally like first half. It takes them a little bit of time here. Louis Pepe, I love to hear it, man. We also have Super True Story on New Hampshire. I love that. So the next spot for me here is I'm backing Harvard. They played Boston University. They played Boston College. Now they get a shot at UMass. UMass has been at home for most of the season. They had losses to Charleston College, and they lost to Green Bay. And we know what kind of basketball team Green Bay is now. They look better than the debacle of a season Gottlieb had with them last year. But they took out this Oregon State Beavers squad. This was in the U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. They did not look good in this tournament, and then they took out Oregon State to close it up. And now they come home here to face Harvard, who, as I said, are battle tested. They lost at Penn State by 4. They lost to Boston University by 1. Then Boston College took them out by 13. They've beaten Marist on the road. They came back and beat Bryant. So we also have a UMass team coming back from the Virgin Islands. Hasn't played since the 24th. They've been they've been practicing. Not to say that, doesn't help a squad right now. But Harvard can play defense. They can play tough defense. They can shut opponents down. They did that against Bryant. Now, Bryant is a very weak basketball team. But I think Harvard can stay in this. I did pay for the +3 in the first half at -115. It cost 5 cents to get the +3. It was 2.5 at the time over at Bet365. Let's take a look at what's gone on with the line history since then. It's pretty much the same as when I left it. This line opened up at 5 at 4:36 p.m. At 11:30 p.m., it moved to 4, a 1-point move towards Harvard. It's come back a half point. Came back a half point at 10:17 a.m. So we have a half-point move towards Harvard. I don't have the Action Network up, Wine Time, so if you could touch on the cash flow. But from a total perspective, we have a 143. This opened up at 146, went up to 147, and then dropped all the way down to 140.5. Just crazy, crazy line moves in these college basketball games. Wine Time Sports, take it away here. Nasty Nate says UMass smash. Take it away for us here. Wine Time, I hope that's not the case. Your thoughts?
Yeah, let's get to it. I'll give you guys the rundown here on the market from what Action's telling us, if we want to believe it or not. 48% of bets and 45% of cash on Harvard plus 4.5. We want to look at the money line, 13% of bets and 33% of cash on Harvard. Definitely seems like the sharp side according to Action here. And I think it is the sharp side here. And you mentioned it, they're much more battle tested. They played a Boston College team that we're going to be talking about here in a bit. Not saying Boston College is a top program, but they've played not just them, but Penn State. And that's 2 Power 4 programs and much more battle tested than a UMass team that I didn't even realize that, they haven't played since the 24th against Oregon State. They've had all this time off. They've just been chilling. That's just, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing this early on in the season. So definitely would be on the Ivy League school here in Harvard. Seems like the right spot to be at. Our guy Nasty Nate, I wonder why he's on UMass. This is a game that, there's so many games today, and this is a spot where I feel like have a good angle, you bet it. So I'm curious what Nasty Nate, why he moved on this, but I would be on Harvard here. I might end up moving on him. First half, though, similar in that first spot. I just think that they could probably hang tight here in the first half. I don't know about full game. According to Action, too, 878 bets on this game, so not even 1,000. It's crazy. As of right now, I'm off this spot, but I would probably be on Harvard in the first half.
Yeah, this has moved 5 cents against me at 365, but I didn't bet it at 365, but it was 2.5 -110. I took the 3 at -115 offshore. I'm interested to see what's going on here with the New Hampshire first half, because the New Hampshire first half has not moved. No movement there. All right, so those are my 2 spots that I've bet. I am interested in adding on here. Coin saying that the totals moved 6 points in some places. Some wild moves here. Let's roll into more action from Wine Time Sports. Our next spot is we're going to go 3 games in a row that are the ACC SEC Men's Challenge. And our first spot, Louisville Cardinals at Arkansas Razorbacks, is also our guy Kong's Clips play of the day. He's on Louisville -3.5 at the Razorbacks in Fayetteville. Shout out to our guy Kong's Clips. We have not seen Arkansas since the Thanksgiving Classic, the CBS Sports Thanksgiving Classic at the United Center in Chicago, when the Blue Devils took them out 80-71. Duke's a good basketball team. There's no shame in that. They shot 41% from the field, 33% from 3. But we haven't seen them since that game. This is probably a pretty angry group sitting here. Now, Duke is showing over the last little while why they're so good. Here at Louisville, we have a Louisville team that's been beating up on Cupcakes, smashing them,
Yep.
smash and grabbing them. They took out NJIT at home 104-47 last Wednesday, so they've been off for a week. The game before that, they took out Eastern Michigan 87-46. Just absolutely demolishing opponents, and they're a good basketball team. Look, I'm not saying they're not a good basketball team, but situationally, Arkansas coming off losing to Duke is pretty appealing here. Let's take a look at the line history here for this spot on the board and then hand it over to our guy, Wine Time Sports. Take a look at the cash flow, which will be up for a game of this magnitude. We have here a total at 166. Very, very high total. Opened up at 163, dropped down to 162.5, and now we're all the way up to 166. So a big move towards the over. On the point spread here, Wine Time, we have this. Here we go. On the point spread, we have this sitting at +3 for Arkansas. Arkansas opened up at +3.5. That lasted for 11 minutes and it hit a 3. Now that only lasted for 45 minutes till it came back to 3.5. It was bouncing 3.5, 3. The interesting thing is last night this gets down to a 2. This is a 2 at midnight, a real big move towards Arkansas. Now it's come back. Right now, overall, there's been a half-point move towards the Hogs. When we get to the cash flow, we have 60% of the tickets and 91% of cash on the Hogs. That's a lot of money on them, but it's not like that everywhere. Interesting. Over at Circa, they have 80% of tickets and 94% of cash on Louisville.
Yeah.
And this is sitting at that exactly where they opened it, at the 3.5. Why don't you hit us with also, I'd love to hear what, and I'll bring it up. I should have already brought it up, but I'll bring up what Action's telling us. And Matty Ice says, how about my Spartans? Big game Saturday, going to be electric. We have Tone Miggins here on Arkansas money line. Says Louisville is too hurt here. Take it away for us. Wine Time Sports. Cardinals, Razorbacks, and Fayetteville.
Yeah, I'll break down on Action Network really quick. 48% of tickets, 56% of cash on Arkansas. If you want to look at the money line, 31% of bets, 28% of cash. But yeah, Wager Talk's telling us that pretty much everyone's coming in here and hammering Arkansas. But when I looked at Circa when I was capping this, pretty much all the bets and money were coming in, were on the other side, and that's Louisville. And it ended up getting up to a 2.5, then it went to a 4. And now it's back to the 3.5. The line's not moving. I think this is where it's probably going to end up being up until game time. I don't need the points in my back pocket. I'm on Arkansas money line here, +140 at home. You mentioned it. I mean, who's more battle tested here? It's Arkansas. I mean, they just played against a good Duke team. Louisville, nice win against Kentucky earlier on in the season. Give them credit for that. Other than that, they've had a lot of cupcakes. They haven't even been able to score that many points. I mean, Arkansas just put up 70 against Duke. I think they're going to easily be able to put up 70 against Louisville at home. This place is going to be rocking and rolling over there. Bud Walton Arena. I think this place is going to be going crazy here for Arkansas. They need this win coming off they don't need this win, but they're coming off a loss. This is a good get-right spot for them. Louisville's got Indiana on deck, as I think Matty Ice mentioned in the chat. So that's going to be a pretty big game as well. But I think Arkansas wins this game outright. This is going to be a battle of the guards. Both of the guards for both these teams are pretty much getting whatever they want right now. They're both all averaging over 17 points. All their props are over 17.5 right now. So I think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. I'm not going to move on the over here just because it's already got, I mean, Circa's moved it to 166 from 164 right now. And do we have a no ticket handle on the, let me look at Action really quick for the total. According to Action, 28% of bets are on the over and 27% of cash are on the over, and the line is moving towards the over. That's interesting. Let me look at so I'm on Arkansas, and I might even potentially be on like a first half over because I do think both teams are probably going to come out firing here. I just think Arkansas is going to be able to pull it out there in that second half. Give me Arkansas money line +140. I'm going to look and see what this first half total is really quick as well.
Arkansas money line at +140 for Wine Time. Scary going up against Kong's Clips play of the day, but I'm interested in joining you in this spot.
Total first half 78.5 -110. there's gonna be 80 points scored here in this first half. I'm close to the over. Maybe I should move now. I'm gonna hold off a little bit though, Jim. But I am on Arkansas full game.
Arkansas full game here for our Wine Time Sports. I'm interested. I'm going to spend a little bit more time on it. Let's move on to your next spot on the board. More ACC, SEC men's challenge. But we had the Conte, Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, home of the Boston College Eagles. They are hosting the LSU Tigers. Line opened up at 7.5. We now have a 7. We'll get into the exact ramifications of that line move here. But let's talk about the situation here. LSU rolling to start the year. Boston College lost to Davidson and then lost to Tulane in overtime before beating up on Harvard. Let's talk about the Tigers, though, first. They come off the 2 games for the Emerald Coast Classic. They won both of them down in Destin, Florida. They just annihilated DePaul 96-63. They were up 50-22 at halftime, and they took their foot off the gas pedal a little bit. That came on the heels of them defeating Drake. The season started with 5 home games that were pretty comfortable and pretty easy. After this, they have coast-to-coast challenge, Texas Tech, LSU. It's a huge game at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. That is on Saturday. But first and foremost, they have to go into Boston College and take care of business. The Boston College Eagles just 4-4 on the season. As I said, they just came off beating Harvard. They're going to be at home here for a little while and see if Scovins can take this team to the promised land here. They also were in tournament play last week. They were in the Charleston Classic, and they lose 93-90 to Tulane after losing game 1. They lost both of their games there in the Classic. Let's take a look at the line history here and see how Wine Time is attacking it. As I said, this opened up at 7.5. It lasted there until 1 a.m. before it moved to 7. So we have a half-point move towards Boston College. From a total standpoint here, we have this. Sorry, here we go. Let's move over quickly. From a total standpoint, we have a 147. This is juiced pretty heavily to the over. It opened up at 146.5, went up to 148 pretty quickly, and then dropped all the way down to 145 at 7 this morning. Now we're back at 147, which is more like a 147.5. So basically, let's call it 3/4 of a point move towards the over. Odds Logic telling us 75% of the ticket, 72% of the cash is on LSU. We do have that half-point move towards Boston College. If we move over to the Action Network, they have 81% of the tickets and 87% of the cash on LSU. So we have a much different story. Total-wise, 63% of the tickets, 64% cash on the under. Take it away for us. Wine Time Sports, Tigers, Eagles in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts.
I'm on Boston College here, guys, and this is honestly kind of more so of a public fade and fading an LSU team that's really not that good. Looking at them so far this season, neither of these teams have really had too much tough competition. I mean, LSU's probably had a better strength of schedule. I think Boston College here at home is going to be able to stay within 7 points here. I wish I got in at that 7.5, but seeing that it moved down to the 7 is kind of what intrigued me to look at this game a little bit more. LSU, don't get me wrong, 7-0 right now. I mean, DePaul, Drake, Alcorn State, FIU. I mean, this is cupcakes. You know what I mean? Boston College, can't say too much about them either because they've had a cupcake schedule so far. They haven't really been able to execute like LSU. I just think you're probably going to get the best effort out of them. This is by far the best team they've played all season. I think they're going to get their best effort out of here from Boston College at home here. So I took the +7 at -110. And yeah, I mean, looking at Wager Talk right now, we've got 75% of tickets, 72% of cash on LSU. Circa has this at a 7. Circa's not giving us a handle here. And then when you look at Action, it's even more. 81% of tickets, 87% of cash on LSU. Money line, 97% of bets, 99% of cash on LSU. It's probably going to be a big parlay piece that, who knows, might not go through for one of those 3-leggers for people that are playing parlays out there. Maybe Boston College guts this one out and gets a win. I'm just going to take the 7 points. I'm perfectly fine with the 7, not the money line. So give me Boston College +7 -110.
Boston College +7 -110. I'm very interested to see what happens with this market. it does feel like the sharp side at this point here. A coin saying that the ACC had a good night in this challenge last night. Let's see if it carries over here. Let's talk about the next spot in the ACC SEC Men's Challenge. Virginia Cavaliers 6-1. This is their first road game of the season, true road game for Virginia. At the Texas Longhorns 6-2, undefeated at home. The Moody Center in Austin, Texas is where we are right now. A tough game, Texas, coming off. It was in the Southwest Maui Invitational, 102-97 victory over the NC State Wolfpack. It was pretty impressive. It was pretty impressive a victory for Texas. Put up 102 points, shot 56 from the field and 50 from three, and only turned the ball over 7 times. It's a good basketball team. Virginia took a loss to Butler, 80-73. That was part of the Greenbrier tip-off. And, shot 30% from three and let Butler do whatever they want offensively. This is not your dad's Virginia Cavaliers team. This team is much more offensive and plays at a much faster pace. Cavaliers, Texas Longhorns. So the last spot, though, that we saw at Virginian was a smash and grab over Queen's University, 94-69, 25.5-point favorites, and they dominated the Queen's University Royals. Virginia's 5-0 at home, but here they are in their very first road game against the Texas Longhorns. Let's take a look at the line history here for this 9:15 spot for Wine Time Sports. We have one more game after this before we get into NBA with Wine Time Sports and Darryl Rice. We have this total at 153.5. Opened up at 154, and it dropped all the way down to 148.5. We've seen so many of these games today with this wild U-shaped total movement down to 148.5, and then climbs all the way back up to 153.5. So heavy movement there. From a line history, from a point spread side of things here, we have this sitting right now with Texas -2 at -113. Opened up at 2.5, dropped to 2, 2.5, 2, 2.5. Keeps bouncing back and forth between the 2 and the 2.5. And when we take a look at the cash flow for Texas, Virginia, we have 67% of the tickets and 84% of the cash on Texas at this point, and this line not moving towards them. If we instead take a look over at the Action Network to get another idea of where the line stands, we have 56 and 57 on the over, and we have 71% of the tickets and 55% of cash on Texas. So both spots that we're looking at have money coming in on the Longhorns and the market not doing anything about it. Take it away for us, Wine Time. Cavaliers, Longhorns, Moody Center.
Yeah, I actually like this Virginia team. I like the rider, the forward. He's averaging 18 points right now, shooting nearly 60% from the floor. Originally looking at this game, I was kind of looking at Texas, and the more I looked at it, I was looking at the splits and all that and saw the line wasn't moving. I like watching this Virginia team play. I think they're a better team. Texas definitely got some guys that can score. I mean, both these teams, if you look at the totals lately, the last couple games, it's kind of outrageous how high they are and how much they're scoring. Neither of these teams can play much defense. I do think if it's a lower scoring game, it's going to favor Virginia, and if it's a higher scoring game, it's going to favor Texas, the favorite here. Not seeing any movement towards Texas. I would be worried if I was backing Texas in this spot. I wanted to back Virginia here on the money line at some plus money. I couldn't really necessarily get there though. The market's telling me that, but it doesn't all correlate necessarily. I do think Virginia is probably the better team, but they are going to be playing in Texas here. Should be a pretty hostile environment, but not seeing this line move, I'd be concerned. So I'm off it as of right now. If I do move on this, I'll end up tweeting it out. Just want to go over a couple more things in this game and let the market marinate a little bit more. This game doesn't go off until 9:15 Eastern time. So not for a long time. So I'm going to see what happens here with this market. I would only be on Virginia. And if I'm going to be on Virginia, it's probably going to be on the money line. So I'm not going to get that much of a difference if it does move towards them, which I do want to see. I want to see some reverse line movement towards Virginia. That will make me get on them and move on them. Not going to do it quite yet. It's Virginia or pass, but right now it's a pass.
I have not bet a team on their first true road game of the year ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do it. But look, the books are just taking all the Longhorns' money and doing nothing, not caring. So it certainly would be one-way traffic here, but I just now, but let me also preface this that I like to fade teams in their first road game of the year in the first half, because if the team has more skill, give them 40 minutes, they can find their legs and they can find their way in these basketball games. So it's not a full game fade. It's generally just the first half fade. So staying off of this one. And here's another game that I just really wanted Wine Time to talk about our final spot on the board before NBA. He's not moved on it yet, but I wanted him to talk about his UCLA Bruins. They're opening up their Big Ten account up at Alaska Airlines Arena in Seattle, Washington. So we have UCLA Bruins 5-2 on the year, taking on the Huskies. And man, this isn't Brandon Roy and Nate Robinson's Washington Huskies. We're a long way from then, but not a bad basketball team so far from what we've seen from the Huskies. They are coming off an 81-68 loss to the Colorado Buffaloes. Both the win over Nevada and the loss to the Buffaloes was in the Acrisure Holiday Classic that we were talking about. This one was in Palm Springs, California. This is a tough loss here. They've right from the very beginning, they were getting destroyed by Colorado. It was a 47-0. This was a game that, Washington was favored in, and right away, Colorado just completely took over. They got up 25-11. Before halftime, they were up 17 points. It was a debacle. And it was probably, important for the Huskies to get slapped in the face. I think that when you get slapped in the face, it's a bit of a wake-up call. They had won 3 straight. They only lost before that was to Baylor. So they have faced some tough competition. For the UCLA Bruins, they're also coming off a loss. This was in the Mizzen and Main Empire Classic in San Francisco. And it was a big shock. UCLA lost 80-72 to Cal. They were also up 5 in the first half. Cal shot 50% from the field. It was a very, very surprising result. Completely dominated in the second half of the basketball game by the Cal Golden Bears. So you have 2 teams off of losses, 2 angry groups in a very important game to open up the Big Ten account for both teams. Let's take a look at the line history here. I think I've got tone on UCLA. I believe I do. I need to go over that again. We have UCLA at -1.5 right now. This opened up at a pick'em. It's now at -1.5. So we've seen it move. That's the only move. Opened up at a pick'em at 5:08 p.m. At 9:25 this morning, it moved to a -1.5, juiced towards the Bruins. So that's a very legitimate move there. And then from a total side of things here, we have a 142.5. So basically, have no movement. It opened up 142.5, dropped down to 141.5. Now we're back up at 142.5. So almost no movement. When we get to the cash flow here, we have 88% of tickets, 90% of cash on UCLA. Superbook has moved it to -2. FanDuel's moved it to a -2.5. And when we go over to the Action Network here, when we move over to the Action Network, we have no information here on the side. I wonder if we get any on the total. Let's see. On the money line, will they give us that information? Yeah. 75% of tickets, 94% of cash on the money line. 75 and 94. I wonder if the books are moving enough, honestly. But they're moving somewhat with all of that money. And then 73% of tickets, 70% cash on the over. Wine Time Sports, your UCLA Bruins in effect. Take it away.
Yeah, Mick Cronin, typical after that Cal game, just called out his entire team, said they didn't give enough effort. I don't know. This guy, I think, has got to go over there. I think they got to do something about it because they giving him some pretty damn good NIL money these last couple of years to work with. They go out and they grab Donovan Dent, like one of the best scorers in college basketball. Scores 3 points last week against Cal in a miserable second half. It was a close first half. I think UCLA was up 4 or 5 points, but that second half, if you guys watch it, was just a crazy collapse. And Mick Cronin takes no blame until at the end when he says, "Oh, but at the end of the day, it's on me." After he blames and throws everyone under the bus. Don't like that from a head coach. I know that's kind of the way he's coached his whole career, and he's one of the most winningest coaches in college basketball right now. With that being said, I don't know. All this money coming in on UCLA, I get it. They're the better team here. But you're going on the road. This is going to be a pretty crazy environment over there in Seattle, Washington. This place should be rocking. It's the first game of Big Ten play. think Washington's going to come in with a bang. I would only be on Washington here. I can't back this UCLA team. They don't seem motivated. Mick Cronin can't motivate these kids, it seems like, just when he's out there yelling at him. I get it. He's coaching. He does some of the things right, and when they're on point, they're on point. But this team, he's kind of touched on it. They haven't been able to come together yet, and I don't think that changes here just because they're going into Big Ten play. Who's a more talented team here? It's UCLA. It's probably not even close, but I think the spread, I don't know why it opened up at a pick. UCLA going into the season was a top 15 team in the nation, team that's they should make a deep run in March Madness. If they don't, they got to make a change at the coaching position. I would only be on Washington here. I'm going to wait. This game is until 8 p.m. my time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to wait and see what this market does. If it comes back towards Washington, I'm probably going to be on Washington with all this money on UCLA. UCLA should be a -4 here, in my opinion. I know they're on the road here, but talent-wise, shouldn't even necessarily be close here. I'm surprised they're not a bigger favorite here. I think that's going to just only attract more UCLA bettors. Who's going to be back in Washington here against UCLA basketball? Football, everyone would be on Washington here. I get it, but this is basketball. Everyone's going to probably be on UCLA here by 8 p.m. here, especially all the people from over here in LA get off work. They're going to start throwing some bets in, and they're going to start betting on UCLA. Oh, UCLA is a -1.5 against Washington. Like what? I don't know. It'd be Washington or pass. It's a pass for me right now, though.
We have a pass here from Wine Time. UCLA doesn't play on the road again until January 3rd.
Wow.
Yeah, when they more Big Ten action, Iowa, then Wisconsin. They start the new year there. So it's just home games. This is the only true road game for the Bruins in this fall and winter 2025 campaign. Absolutely wild. Let's review all action in college basketball here. We have Wine Time on Minnesota +9, Arkansas moneyline, and Boston College +7. I'm on New Hampshire first half +5.5, and the Crimson, Harvard Crimson +3. I paid 5 cents for the 3 -115. That is college basketball here for Wednesday, December 3rd. Which takes us into the National Basketball Association here. We have a beautiful card. We have our next guest ready to roll. I have not made any bets in the NBA since last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, I went 7-2 with you guys. So now I'm hitting 60% on the season. I'm up double-digit units over 75 bets. And I was like, you know what? I'm crushing when I'm capping with you guys. So I just sat on the fence for the last few days, and then waiting when I have my guys with me for us to continue to attack the NBA card. So I'm excited. I had Bankroll Blitz till so late last night. It's just been a massive grind. So I'm behind on both of your NBA records, and I apologize for that. I know you're destroying NBA this year one time. I'll have everything back up for next week. But I have my record up, which is obviously something easy for me to produce. But let's bring on our third head here. We are a 3-headed monster for NBA action. Both of our NBA experts coming to us from Los Angeles, California. You see Wine Time on screen already. Please welcome our next guest. Love capping with this gentleman. Big season ahead of us. He, in his first year with us, finished the year at 59.2% against the spread. Had a chance at 60% and almost got there. Please welcome our friend. We want 60% again. Our guy, Darryl Rice. It's Derl. What's happening, Derl? How are you?
Yo.
Let's go.
What up, man? What up, man? Good to see both of you, man. Good to see both of you smiling faces. It is, for me, the exact opposite, Jimmy and Wine. I am abysmal in ball right now. Absolutely abysmal in ball. So this is carried on from last year, and man, it's making me, kind of second guess myself, like, yo, am I in the right occupation? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not used to this losing streak. Right now, it's a little running joke where I give to my boys. I'm like, hey, these are the plays I'm on. Feel free to either fade them or hedge out if we're on the same side. So, I've got to laugh about it, man. But all in all, very, very disappointed in how the NBA has turned out for me because a lot of these plays, honestly, I put a lot of work into it, and I feel like I'm on the right side. It's not like I'm just throwing darts at a wall to see, what works. But I do plan on turning it around, man. And I went big today. So also, unlike you, Jimmy, I moved on like 20 plays today. So I have made some moves early, and I'm just gonna let it all out, man. I'm just gonna let it all out. Let the chips fall where they must, man. But it is great. It's great to see y'all. It's always, if nothing else, man, it's really good to talk about ball. I feel like I learned a lot from you guys, Jimmy, you and how you approach capping, and Wine, even yourself on how you approach the card and look at things. And you're not at all influenced by trying to rush in a play. If you don't feel it, you don't feel it. And I like that. So like I always say, man, any day on this side of the grass, you know the rest, Jimmy.
It's a good day, Derl. It's a good day, my
It's
man.
a
It's
good
nice to
day,
have
brother.
you here.
Yeah.
And you know where we need you next, Derl. You know what we
Yeah,
need.
Papa, man, I'm gonna get there, man. I'm in a comfortable position right now, brother. So yeah, I should get there.
Oh, we need you down there. We got
Yeah.
Wham Bam 3000 in the house giving you a shout out. Our
Wham!
guy.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, I'm in a talking mood today, maybe because I had coffee. Okay. So first and foremost, peace and love to everybody in the chat, man. I don't get to see it, and I'm usually a little more interactive. As a matter of fact, Jay, when you were gone, and the first show I had with Jose, he was able to have that chat going like in real time on the screen. So I was able to see it. It's kind of weird. You could tell who's.
We can get that back up. Jose can put that together. We can.
At any rate, man. But what I was saying is, Wham that's just a solid brother, man. So I hope to see him, man. I hope to see him if he's going to be at Pubaloza. But solid brother there, man. Shout out to
Wham Bam. Yeah, he's a class act. Our guy Wham Bam 3000. Let's get to work, fellas. Let's get to work. We'll go back and forth hitting leadoff here. We'll let our guy Darryl hit leadoff for our first spot on the board.
Yeah.
We start with the Portland Trailblazers, 8-13, 5-7 on the road. At the Cleveland Cavaliers, 13-9, 8-4 at home. We're at Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Portland playing at a very fast pace all year long. Third fastest in the NBA. There, we got you hooked up. There you go. Hey, look at that.
Jose.
Look at that.
Appreciate it, brother.
Delivering the goods, man. The Blazers 8-13, 5-7 on the road. They looked like they had some hope in the beginning of the year. Thiago Splitter looked like he had a plan of attack, and the hope is gone. Currently, 3-game losing streak, and they're back to the old Blazers that we remember. Let's take a quick look at the shoot-around information for this spot here. The Cavaliers, 13-9, 8-4 at home, playing at the ninth fastest pace, 102.04 possessions a game, been dealing with injuries throughout the season, and tonight is no different. We have a ton of injuries on either side of the fence here. The most important issues, because we know who's out for these teams. I mean, the Cavs is pretty straightforward. For the Blazers, Williams, Wesley, Thibault, Drew, Scoot are all out. So that we know that. That's not the concern. The concern is what the hell is going on with Klingon. He's dealing with a left lower leg contusion. He missed his first game Sunday with an illness, returned to action Tuesday, and then got hurt during the game here. So if that's the case, Chris Murray will be in the lineup, and they'll go to a small ball type situation here. But Chris Murray's also questionable. We'll go through all of these questionable spots here. Let's go through the very next one. The next spot is Denny Avdia. We know how important he is to this basketball team. 25.8, 7.1, and 6.1 on the season. An absolute monster. So, again, they played last night, and he's dealing with an ankle sprain. So we shall see if Avdia will be in the lineup again, second half of back-to-back. So we're not going to find out that information here right away. For the Cavaliers, it's pretty straightforward. Strus, Nance, Merle, and Allen out, and Ball. Lonzo is listed as a probable. So we have the Blazers off of 3 straight losses. They lost at the Raptors last night, 121-118. They put in a lot of effort. They've been fighting hard. They lost at home to the Thunder by 8, which is not an easy thing to do against the 22-1 Oklahoma City Thunder, keeping it within single digits. The Cavaliers were on a 3-game losing streak themselves, and then they went into Indiana and destroyed them 135-119. It was very impressive performance, made them feel a little bit better about themselves, and now they head home. So line history wise, we have Cleveland minus 11 at minus 115, opened up at 9.5, got up to 10.5, back down to 10, and now we have an 11.5. That last move happened 1 minute ago. So from 11 to 11.5 1 minute ago. From a total side of things here, we have a 238.5. This opened up at 236. It got up to 241. And then drop back to 238.5. For those of you guys, a spot that we've been talking about throughout the year, any total that's moved 7 points in the NBA, I've faded that move and I'm undefeated. And I'm not just cashing them by a few points. I'm cashing them by 20. So now it's a smaller sample size. I think it's only happened 4 times. I'll have to go over it, but every one is being a smash and grab. I do not believe the advanced models will be off by 7 points. Now, if it's an injury reason, it's not. That's not a bet. I'm saying when the gamblers are saying the books models are off by 7 points, I simply will never believe that is the case. Here for Blazers, Cavs, we have 58% of tickets and 78% of cash on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Line moving pretty heavily in their direction. 63% of tickets on the over, 60% of cash on the over. Darryl Rice, take it away. Our first game on the board, Blazers, Cavs.
Yeah, man. Only way to go here is this. And this is what I'm liking a lot. Just give me Donovan Mitchell over 28.5 points. He right now is playing against the worst ranked perimeter defenders in the league. And I don't see how Portland even, is able to stop him personally. Now, against these large spreads, I was reading Portland is actually 2-1 against the spread when it comes to these large spreads. So I can see why there's money coming in on Portland. This is also the same team and the sole team to beat OKC, right? So there is some fight in them. But I've never been a Thiago Splitter fan, man. And I just feel that's just a matter of time before teams and consultants, these guys get together and start figuring shit out. And you're already got one hand behind your back because you don't have a true point guard out there at all, right? So you've heard a lot of people talk about how important Drew is to this team, and quite frankly, he is. He's very important to this team. So it's going to always be kind of this ebb and flow and up and down with the Trailblazers with no consistency until you get everybody healthy again. So I like Donovan Mitchell just to go off, man. He put up 43 points against the Pacers. Right now, did you read this guy he's got he's number 1 in 3-pointers right now at 81. And I was like, wow, there's a lot of people shooting 3. Donovan Mitchell is your number 1 3-point shooter right now with 3 points made at 81 3-pointers for the season so far. And I just think he's going to have a field day. Give me Donovan Mitchell over 28.5 points, man, as my play for this. If I had to look at a side, I don't like these big spreads anymore. In the beginning, I kind of was not afraid of them. And the way Cleveland's playing after coming off that three-game skid and then playing Indy and then smacking them, you would think this 10.5 should be very, very easy. Fast team with the Portland Trailblazers are going to push the pace, but you don't have any skilled ball handlers there. So what happens? Turnovers. That's what happens. And that gives the Cavaliers plenty of places throughout this game to score. So all in all, I'm just going to stick to what I like and what's more consistent, and that's Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell over 28.5 points. Got that locked and loaded already. Made the play.
I can get that at minus 113. Did you get a better line than that?
Actually, that was a minus 115 for me.
Cool. Yeah, I see minus 115s, minus 113s. We have Derl on the board. Spider over 28.5 points, minus 113. Wine Time Sports, Blazers, Cavaliers. Take it away. I think you're muted, my man.
Apologies, guys. Yeah, that was a great breakdown. I like that prop on Mitchell. I might sprinkle a little something on there. And I think Cavs are definitely the spot here, guys. I mean, yeah, a lot of the tickets and money's coming in on them, but the line's continuously moving. I think it's telling us that Denny Advia is not going to be playing in this back-to-back. You guys watched that game last night. Really close game. They ended up losing the game outright, but covered the spread late. Showed a lot of heart late in that game, guys. And now, heading out to Cleveland on a back-to-back. Denny's ankles messed up. Even if he's out there, I mean, we know what he likes to do, and that's attack. I don't know how healthy he's going to be out there moving around. Was close to moving on the Cavs first half, but I'm going a little bit different of a way, guys. I'm going on the Cavs team total over 65 minus 115 in the first half. 65 points is a lot of points, and I get it, but this is high for a reason. I think Cavs are going to put up a 70-75 piece in this first half against a Blazers team that doesn't have Drew Holiday out there. We were making money on the Blazers when they had Drew Holiday and Denny out there and Grant coming off the bench. It seemed like things were working in the beginning of the season when we were attacking them, but now it's just they're kind of falling apart, and they got to get healthy. I don't think they're going to have an answer for anyone on the court for Cleveland's offense. I think Cleveland's going to be able to score in this first half. So give me the team total over 65 minus 115 first half.
Over 65 minus 115. Cavs first half team total over 65. Spider over 28.5 points. I mean, it certainly feels like Klingon or Abdia are going to be out of the lineup here on the second half of back-to-back. I certainly want to know that information. And the Cavs coming off of that monster victory over the Pacers, snapping their 3-game losing streak. They were a very angry group.
Yes.
They got the big win out of the way.
Yeah.
And, I don't think I'm that fast or close to getting involved in this one at this point. Let's roll on to our next spot. We have Bala on a budget. Well, Bala! Jesus Christ, what's our lack of sleep, man? Bala? Yeah. Come on. Good. Bala on a budget here. Our guy, Robert Franklin. Mitchell over 4.5 assists. I'm still with the new names and handles from our which you can change on YouTube. You just got to go to your profile and to your handle and change the name. But still messing with me a little bit. Let's roll on to our next spot on the board. Denver Nuggets, Indiana Pacers, Cambridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Nuggets 14-6, 8-2 on the road. Pacers 4-17, 4-7 now at home. Slightly turning their season around a little bit. Indiana Pacers playing at 11th fastest pace in the NBA, 101.75 possessions a game. Denver playing at 21st fastest pace, 100.28. I think it's now time not to be focusing on the full season pace numbers. We're 20 games in, and I said I would stop, but let's have this be the last day that we do so. We have injury issues, but the most important part is Nikola Jokic is probable. Jamal Murray is questionable. We know Christian Brown is out, and so, of course, is Aaron Gordon. So let's take a look at Jamal Murray and hear if we can get any last-minute news on Jamal, whether or not he will be in the lineup again. Jokic probable. So we don't know. We just know he got hurt Monday. So we need to see if Jamal Murray will be in the lineup here. On the other side of things, Naismith out, Obi Toppin out. We know that. Jackson out. Furphy is questionable. So Nembhard, Mathurin, Walker, Siakam, and Huff is the 1 to 5 here for this one. Let's get into the line history and the situation. We are getting a little bit of feedback, Darryl, a tiny bit of feedback from what I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's not that big of a deal. I can just hear it in the background. I'm sure people with headphones might be able to hear it. I don't know if we can fix it. Maybe if we can't fix it, it's fine, but maybe we mute when you're not talking, kind of a thing like that. We have the Nuggets coming off the 131-121 home loss on Monday. They've lost 2 of 3. They've lost 3 of 5. They were in control of that game, 41-27 after the first quarter, and then slipped. Of course, Anthony Davis back in business, put up 32 points. It was impressive, but Jokic was in the lineup. Jamal Murray got hurt in the game, but there was really no excuse for what happened in that, other than Jamal going down, because they put up 17 points in the fourth quarter, and I guess that's when you need a guy like Jamal Murray. So that's the situation here for these Denver Nuggets. Are they an angry group? They've lost 2 of 3. They've lost 3 of 5. Will they then not overlook the Indiana Pacers, who had their 2-game winning streak snapped, 135-119 Monday at home versus the Cavaliers? It was interesting to see them on a 2-game winning streak. We talk about 5-game homestands, 6-game homestands. This is game 4 of a 4-game homestand. Not too appealing to me. They head off and play Chicago on Friday. So let's give a look to the line history and the cash flow and hand it over to Wine Time. We have a total at 236, flat 236 right now. We don't have any movement. It's taking a second for it to come up. But it opened. Here we go. Opened up at 236. Is at 236, but it did go up to 237 and down to 235. But we're right back from where we started. From a point spread side of things, here we have the Indiana Pacers +8. They opened up +7.5. Now it's just an 8, a half-point move away from them. Again, it is the Nuggets off of a loss. 68% of the tickets and 95% of the cash on the Denver Nuggets. That's an insane amount of cash on the Denver Nuggets. Let's just see if we get that same information from Action, that 95% of cash. And no, they have 63 and 66. Seems a little more plausible here. And then total-wise, we have 63% of tickets and 55% of cash on the under. Wine Time Sports, take it away for us. Nuggets, Pacers at Cambridge. You're muted, Wine Time, my man.
Apologies. That'll be the last time right there. All right. I think Benedict Mathurin, this guy's going to play himself into a nice little contract here coming up, guys. I mean, he's absolutely balling out there. I mean, when you lose 2 of your top scorers, Tyrese and then Miles Turner, just him and Siakam out there pretty much running the show. And still think this is one of the worst, starting 5s out there. I mean, Siakam does make it look a lot better. And now that Benedict is actually healthy, he's been looking good out there. But I don't know, this line's a little bit confusing. I feel like, I know it's in Indiana, but I feel like this should be more so of like a 10.5 for the Nuggets here. And seeing this much cash, you guys, I mean, in the NBA, you guys have heard me talk about it. When I see 90% plus money on a certain side and the line's not really moving, I mean, sure, open up at 7.5 did move a half point, but that's not enough. This should have been like a 10.5. Something tells me maybe someone's not going to play for Denver. But I mean, if Jokic is healthy, I don't think Jamal Murray is necessarily probably worth 2 points. But this is, I don't know, this is a little funky here. I didn't move on this game. Wanted to talk it out with you guys because when I looked at this, I was like, okay, I want to back Indiana here. I just don't know if I can get to the window on it because I think Denver has mismatches all over the court here in this game. I know it's in Indiana. Maybe it's a tough road spot for Denver, but I don't know. Something's fishy about this, but the fact that the line's not moving, it's Indiana +8 or pass here for me, guys. Not going to do it quite yet. I want to talk it out with you guys. I want to hear what my guy Darryl says, everyone in the chat. But yeah, it's a pass for me right now, but it's a lean towards the Pacers.
The problem is you have both teams coming off of a loss. Pacers starting to play better basketball. The Nuggets aren't going to overlook them. It's hard to find the edge. Feels like the line's pretty sharp here, especially if there's no Jamal Murray. You got to watch Bruce Brown playing point. And, we know what that's going to look like. He's not terrible, don't get me wrong, but he's a great defender and he can do some things. Let's hear what Darryl has to say about it. Nuggets, Pacers, take it away.
Yeah, this is a trend that I'm looking at. First off, Denver scores points after a loss. So if you're looking at their games that they've played, I was looking at Denver. They lost to San Antonio, 136-109. Come back and beat Phoenix, put up 130 points. They lost to Sacramento, 123-128. They come back and beat Memphis, put up 125 points. They lost to Chicago, 127-130. But the next game against New Orleans, they put up 125 points. To get Denver off a loss, they will put up points. That's just the way it goes for them right now. Another thing is this. Denver absolutely sucks at home, at Ball Arena. But if you look at them on the road, they're going on a 7-game win streak. This will be the 7th game if they win this game, a win streak on the road. So there's 2 things that are kind of that really stick out. First thing is they put up a lot of points after a loss. Second thing is when they are away, they play better. That line is absolutely fishy to me. One, I'm right there with you. But what I do like and where I think you can find value is this total. These points they're gonna score tonight. It's gonna be a lot of points. And so because of that, I stepped on the over 236.5. I believe it's at 237 right now, but 236.5 is where I got it, and I like it. I just think it's going to be a lot of points here. Pacers with the pace, they are kind of feeling themselves right now. They kind of feel like they're starting to have some type of identity. They don't want to be clustered in with these teams that are tanking. They don't want to be on the same scale as the Sacramento Kings or the Utah Jazz. You know, like, hey, we've got some injuries here, but we're still a good team. And so they're playing with a little more pride than what you say these other teams are doing. And because Denver is coming off of a loss, I just think there's going to be points, right? There's no interior protection here with the Pacers. So I do believe you have a lot of rebounds for Jokic. So if you wanted to move on his 13.5 rebounds, couldn't talk you off of that at all. I just think it's going to be a lot of points here. I really do. I could see this game hitting 240 easily, right? So I'm more confident in the over here just based upon the fact that Denver scores a lot of points off of a loss, and Denver is on a really good streak on the road right now. And so that's the play that I like the most is the over. Don't really know about this side. I mean, Denver should come in here and crush them. But again, you know, the betting spreads, things like that is telling a different story. Where the money is and where the percentage is and the handle is telling a different story. So this is one of those things to where I just want to step off, look at that over, and that's the play for me. 236.5 over. I feel like this is going to go up.
You are in business. The over 236.5 here for our guy Darryl Rice. Also, Justin McKelvey, Jokic triple-double and Nuggets win at plus 115 for him. No action for me through these first two games, but I'm ready to attack. I think this next one might be the game to do it in. Let's talk about it. 7 p.m. Eastern with the San Antonio Spurs 14-6, 5-4 on the road at the Orlando Magic, 13-8, 8-3 at the Kia Center in Orlando, Florida. Spurs playing 25th fastest pace, 99.83 possessions a game, while Orlando playing at the 13th, 101.31 possessions a game. We have a very clean injury report. Clean doesn't mean empty. Just means we know what's going to happen. Everybody out, no question marks. Castle, McLaughlin, and Wemby out for the Spurs. Banchero, Castleton, and Mo Wagner out for the Orlando Magic. Mo's been all year. We have the Spurs winners of 3 of their last 4. They look decent in that just completed road trip. You know, took out Portland, took out Denver, lost at Minnesota, and then came home and played Memphis. This is the second half of a back-to-back. We have the Magic now on a 3-game winning streak. They also looked pretty good on that completed road trip. They started with the loss at Boston, took out Philadelphia by margin, 41 points, beat Detroit in a tight one by 3, and then came home and beat the Bulls on Monday night. So this is, I think, a nice spot for Orlando Magic to take care of business here against a Spurs team on the second half of a back-to-back. The Magic have won 6 of 7 games. This is game 2 of a 3-game homestand. They don't need to go anywhere. They don't need to do anything. They host Miami on Friday night. But it's 8 points. It's not cheap, but 8 points. It opened up at 7. It immediately moved to 6.5, and then it got up to 8. I don't like that immediate move to 6.5. That makes me a little bit uncomfortable. And then from a total standpoint, we have a 235.5. We have a 2-point move towards the over. Opened up at 233.5. Now a 235.5. And when we get to the cash flow here for Spurs Magic, we have 62% of the tickets and 90% of the cash on the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, how do we not fade that shit, man? Let's 54% of the tickets, 53% of cash on the over. I mean, of course, it's too many points. People are going to look at this and say that's too many points. The Spurs will cover. Let's see if it's the same sort of deal here on action. And it's 65% of the tickets, 59% cash on the Spurs. Look, I I think the Magic can comfortably take care of business here at home despite the injuries. We have our guy Derl hitting leadoff for this one. Take it away, Derl. Spurs Magic.
Yeah, man, I don't care what the spread is, bro. And I guess I got to keep it PG since whomever are we on?
No kids in the chat
no
today.
kids?
No kids.
Okay. Wine time. Hey, man, you ready for this analysis? Jay, what about you? You ready for this analysis?
Yeah, I got no kids around either.
Oh, just give me your Orlando Magic. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is, bro.
Yes.
You ready for this? Here's my analysis. I don't give a fucking shit. I don't give a fucking shit. So yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fucking shit. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is.
I love it. Break it down, man.
Yeah. Okay. So it was one game that showed me that Orlando is back, and that was against the Pistons. And they went in and took care of the Pistons like it was nothing, man. Now, it was 112 to 109, but they were playing in Detroit with the hot Detroit team right now. And on top of that, there has been this kind of, I want to say, I don't know if you're a rising star or not, man, but Anthony Black is balling right now. Like, no fear. The way he played against Detroit, it was like, yo, man, y'all gonna know who I am today. They beat Chicago. These are close, these are close games, 125 to 120. But that Pistons game was the game that showed me, okay, these boys is good. They're back. I like the way Jamal Mosley is coaching these guys up, and I'm going to tell you who's going to have a game. Jalen Suggs. I got Jalen Suggs over 15.5 points. This is an absolute smash game for him. Over 15.5 points, and I'm going to look at my play right now here. I also took Jalen Suggs over 2.5 3-pointers made. They're juiced to the over. And I just feel like they're kind of in their rhythm again, and they're playing at home against a decimated Spurs team. Man, Wembanyama and Castle didn't even get on a plane. So Mitch is saying the right things about his team and how they're playing gritty and grimy and stuff like that. But Jamal's got these boys locked in, and he's going to give Anthony some playing time. Like I looked at Anthony Black's points. I don't know what his past points were, but his points prop now is -4 or 14.5 points, bro. That's a lot. So that's telling me that they're going to implement him in a lot of playing, and they're giving him free reign to shoot if he wants to. So when you got these brothers who's kind of feeling themselves the way he is right now, man, pause. But listen, this is kind of, you want to catch it a little early. And I just feel like this spread to me is nothing for Orlando. They're going to shut these boys down, and they're going to score a lot of points. So I am not afraid of the 7.5 at all, man. I jumped on that. So give me Orlando minus the points, and give me Jalen Suggs over 15.5 points, where I stepped on already, and over 2.5 threes.
You got it here for the juice. I can get the 2.5 threes at -112, and I can get the 15.5 points at -114. What did you get?
For 115, well, 15.5, I got it early. I think that's moved up to 16.5. Have you seen a move to 16.5?
I've got it right here at 15.5 -114.
Okay, I'm still at 15, or I see a 16.5. The 15.5 I got at -115.
Okay, and what did you get the Suggs over 2.5 threes at?
-110.
Okay, you are in business here. And
now I see somebody questioning the Suggs, and I Chris Warren, I see you, brother. Just know right now, Suggs is playing against the 4th worst defense in that to his position. So the opponent rankings here, they're 4th worst in the league. The Spurs are to Jalen Suggs' position. So I just think he's going to feast.
He likes it. He was just thinking. He was just waxing on it. He's thinking about it. He likes it. Robert Franklin on Black. Oh, say what's?
No, I'm sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to overstep there, man. But yeah, I think Suggs is the play here. Anthony Black, man. I mean, I might add that on here, but it's maybe I got to give it another game. We'll see. But yeah, it
reminds me a little of when Kobe White had his comeuppance with the Bulls. They have that same sort of big lower body where they're not big guys, but they seem to be able to play in the dirty areas and handle their business here.
Jimmy, you know who's putting up points? 35 points in the last 2 games. Desmond Bain. So now he's giving you those points that Banchero would give you. You know that helps that he's not in there. But man, this team is kind of meshing right now. I want to get to the party early here, and so I'll go ahead and take the points here.
And I think we know who the glue guy was in Memphis now as well. Do you want that 7.5? Because you have to pay for it now, -116, or do you want the 8 at -110? Darryl, let us know. Oh, you're muted, I think, my man.
Give me the 8. I'll take the 8.
8 at -110 here. Not quite nasty. I mean, look at
Tell Nate to chill, man. Tell Nate to chill, bro.
Look at the best Raptors of all time. Big ass. Take it away for us here. Wine time. We have Spurs Magic.
Oh, I don't have to touch on this too much because I'm right there with our guy, Darryl. I'm on Magic. I'm a little bit late to the party. I'll still take the 8 points. I don't really care what the spread is in this one because I think the Magic are going to run them out of the gym here. 10+ points here. The Spurs, once they get Wemby and Castle back and they get the guys, healthy, if they're ever able to, I think they're going to have a pretty good season. I mean, they're at 14 wins already at this point is good, but they are definitely hurt, and they had to fight with everything. They had to get out with a win last night. If you guys watched that game, it came down to the absolute wire. They ended up being down, I think, by like 6 or 7 points at some point in the fourth quarter. Ended up winning that game outright, but it's tough travel spot, I think, too, to an Orlando Magic team that's playing some of their best ball all season right now. Mentioned Desmond Bain. I mean, yeah, he's been balling right now. I'm not going to fade the Magic. There's a reason why they're at -8, and there's a reason why we're seeing so much money coming in. 50% of tickets, 91% of cash in Orlando, 94% of cash now. It's moving. The line might be getting to an 8.5 here before we know it, guys. I'm going to get on the 8 right now. I hear you, Jim, because a lot of people are probably going to come in later. It's too many points for San Antonio. I think they're going to blow these guys out. It's not even going to be particularly close. Give me the Magic -8, -110.
Yeah, I'm right with you guys. I'm right. I'm lockstep with you guys. I agree with all of this. Shout out to our guy Kyle Hintley in the house with a $9.99 dono to bless our action as we roll into Wednesday. Thank you, Kyle, my man. That means a ton. We have Derl moving on the Magic -8, Suggs over 59 points, Suggs over 2.5 threes. We have Wine Time moving on the Magic -8, and I want to get involved as well here with this one. And, I think, a good example of Anthony Black and Kobe White is Kyle Lowry. You have that big – you just don't get pushed around like some of these point guards do. Let's roll into our next spot on the board here. 7:30 p.m. Eastern with LA Clippers, 5-16, 2-9 on the road. Of course, the big story is that they've sent Chris Paul home.
I just saw that. That's funny.
They sent him home, and he's sad about it.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't know why.
That's a little disrespectful, bro.
I don't know why they sent me home.
Yeah, man, that's a little disrespectful for an NBA veteran, man. I just think it's disrespectful, bro.
Are you used to the Clippers being a class act organization?
Absolutely not, brother. Absolutely not, man. But you can't be doing my boy like that, man. You can't be doing the floor general like that. Just sending him home like timeout, man. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? Chris Paul is not the reason that the Clippers are ass. It's a lot going on over there, and it's not Chris Paul's fault.
No, we know there's only one reason. One. Paul George. That's the only reason. If they had Shea, imagine Shea in LA. Imagine Shea turning around that whole. Good God! If you guys saw Shea when he came home to Hamilton, he at the halftime of a CFL game, he talked to the crowd. I got goosebumps. I was like, "Good God!" Like he was talking about how proud he was of Hamilton. Hamilton's inside him everywhere he goes. Their fans were going crazy. Like they were like and Hamilton's a tough town. It's a tough town, and God, Shea would have been perfect for LA, man. But that's not the case. Instead, the 21-1 Oklahoma City Thunder is who he's plying his trade with. Clippers 5-16, 2-9 on the road. The Atlanta Hawks 13-9, 4-4 at home. We're at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. Clippers playing at the 28th fastest pace, 97.91 possessions a game. Atlanta 102.08, playing at the 8th fastest pace here. The Clippers in a free fall right now. We last saw them losing by 17 at Miami on Monday night. We last saw the Hawks losing a tough one at Detroit, also on Monday night, 99-98. The Clippers are just falling apart, and I love it. Like I like this stuff. You know, when I just there you have to deal with the consequences of trading away young superstars for who you think is a superstar, but it's really just an aging veteran that doesn't care that much. It's hard to keep playing basketball when you're up $250 million if you're not chasing records and you're not chasing championships. You're just sitting around. I mean, it's not easy, and he's showing that it is not easy. This is game 2 of a road trip, and it could be real ugly. Losers of 5 straight, losers of 8 of 9. This is a team falling apart, and again, I love this shit. I like it. Deal with the consequences. Suck. And Ballmer, that can ass clown. We have the Hawks finishing off that road trip with a tough 99-98 loss at the Pistons. Now they come home. They have the Clippers tonight. They have the Nuggets on Friday night, and that's the first of a back-to-back there. Friday, Saturday. They have at Washington on Saturday. Let's take a look at the latest from the injury report here for these squads. We have for the Clippers, of course, Paul gone, Bogdanovich out. For the Hawks, all of this good stuff has been happening with Trae Young nowhere to be found, and Zingas out as well. So Dyson Daniels, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Reza Shea, Jalen Johnson-Okongwu, your starting 5. Zubac and Okongwu going to battle down low. Collins, Kawhi, Chris Dunn, and James Harden. Look, the lineup isn't horrible for the Clippers. You know, the lineup isn't as bad as in what we're seeing on the court. This total is at 227, opened up at 229, dropped 2 points to 227. It got lower than that. I guess it didn't. I guess that's the low point. 229 down to 227. And then when we get to the line history here for this one, we have a 3.5. It's a very fishy line. Opened up at 3.5, got to 4 immediately, then dropped back to 3. Now it's at 3.5. It's extremely fishy, as if that's all they needed was to get Chris Paul out of the room. I mean, it's strange. 62% of tickets and 89% of the cash on the Clippers. How does that make any sense? Who is running to bet the Clippers here? And it tells you a different story of action. They say 33% and 34%. So hard to believe that people are running to bet the Clippers. If we go over to Circa right now, they have 62% of tickets and 91% of cash on the Clippers. They've moved it a half point towards the Clippers. That's absolutely nuts, man. But it's an extremely fishy line. All of my success pretty much in NBA is about finding the very, very suspect fishy lines and betting them. Can anybody take the Clippers at this number? Why is this not a 6.5? Wine Time Sports, take it away. We got you muted, my man.
That is crazy. Wow. Over under on how many times you've been muted today. That's insane. God damn. All right. To get to this game, guys. Yeah, this is a fishy line because the Hawks are playing some good ball. They lost Trae Young early in the season. I mean, Nikhil Alexander, you talk about Shea, his brother over there, he's balling right now for the Hawks. He's playing really well for him. You got Johnson playing really well. KP's he's going to be in and out of the lineup all season long. It seems like every year from this point out. Probably not going to hit the floor in this one. I mean, Clippers got James Harden, Kawhi Leonard out there. These guys can't win a game, man. It's crazy. I love to see it personally. But with that being said here, I would only probably be on the Clippers, but 91% of the cash on the Clippers here, I'm not going to do it because I think Atlanta's got guys that are going to want to go out there and actually play hard. That's what I think you're going to get out of this Hawks team. Very well coached. I think the Clippers got a good coaching staff as well, but I don't know, something's going on over there that I don't want to be anything a part of, and I'm not going to back them just because it is a fishy line here. Can they win this game? Absolutely. I mean, you've got 2 overpaid superstars in there that, Kawhi in and out of the lineup as well every single year. He's never fully in the lineup. When he is in the lineup, he's pretty damn good. This is a pass for me, guys. I don't know what to do with this. Circa's hanging a 3.5 right now. They opened this up at a 4, 91% of cash on the Clippers, and it's moved a half point towards them. I don't know. This is a weird spot, guys. I'm going to stay away from this game. Nothing for me in this one. It's going to be a pass.
Well, I think we need to let the market marinate, because I do not believe that the Clippers are going to be public here. We also talk about the difference that we see from odds logic reporting and actions reporting. And I think we can really separate the two. Action gives us a real sense of what the public is doing, and odds logic gives us more of a sense of what, real gamblers are doing. This is as fishy as it gets. I have to bet the Clippers if this situation stays and the Clippers become less public. This is wild. Wham Bam says it was Chris Paul's fault. Fire coach angle. Let's hear from Darryl Rice. Take it away.
Hey, man, there's only one way to go here. Just getting to kill Alexander Walker points, bro.
Yeah.
My God. What this man is doing. You talk about Anthony Black having the green light. I absolutely think Nah Man's got it now. I call him Nah Man. Nah Man. Nikhil Alexander Walker over 21.5 points. I stepped on that. The funny thing was I was looking at the points. He was at 20.5. I refreshed my screen, man, went right up to 21.5. So this is something I'm doing here. This is going to be a long shot play for me also, because I'm going to ladder. Nikhil Alexander Walker right now, 26 points against Detroit, 34 points against the 76ers, 28 points against the Cavaliers. These are good teams that he's put up these numbers on, right? Put up 23 points on the Charlotte Hornets, gave you a dud against the Wizards, and put up 8 points. Had a career high of 38 points last month. So this man, I think, has got the green light right now. But here's also what he is not. He is not afraid to shoot the three, man. He shot 6 threes against the Pistons, 6 threes against the 76ers, 5 threes against the Cavaliers. Again, good teams. He should have a field day right now against the Clippers. As much as disarray they are in, man, he should have a field day. So give me Nikhil Alexander Walker over 21.5 points. Got that at minus 110. Also, give me Nikhil over 2.5 threes. Give me over 3.5 threes and over 4.5 threes.
Wow.
Okay. His 3.5 threes plus 124. 4.5 threes plus 220. I'm laddering him today.
And what is the over 2.5 threes?
Minus 115.
Wow. Going all in on another Hamilton boy. Well, also
But
Toronto
wait,
boy.
There's more. This team is the worst ranked team. Now, mind you, Clippers are already 27th in the league in defensive efficiency. They're the worst ranked team against the assist prop for Dyson Daniels. Give me Dyson Daniels over 5.5 assists.
Dyson Daniels over 5.5 assists. What's the big there?
Let me show you what that is. Dyson Daniels over minus 152. So it's juiced. And it's juiced for a reason, but I'll take it. Now, what I did because of that is I parlayed Dyson Daniels assists with another play that we'll talk about later. But that's a single play for me, and then I'll tell you about the parlay I did with Dyson Daniels assists, just to knock out a little bit of that juice.
And that's tied with a different game.
Yes.
Okay, we have Derl hammering the board here. Walker over 21.5 points, minus 110 over 2.5 threes, and minus 115 over 3.5 threes, plus 124 over 4.5 threes, and plus 220. Dyson Daniels over 5.5 assists, minus 152. Look, this is the market that's when it doesn't make any sense at all. You have to bet it. That's why the NBA just milks the public. And so this is one of those spots. Now, in saying that, I really want to see what the market does an hour from now, 2 hours from now. But I'm going to be on the Clippers. This line makes no sense whatsoever. They're getting all of this bad feedback. The Hawks are now 13-9. That's 13-9 over 22 games with 8 at home, 14 on the road. They're playing well. They're playing more than the sum of their parts without Zingis and without Ice Tray here. I like it. I'm in here. But I do want to see what happens with this line. Like, I'm not just going to rush to bet it after the show here. Shout out to Kyle Fields in the house. Kyle, let me know if you want to test that shot out after the show. We do a very quick test if you're around. Let's move on to our next spot on the board here. At Wine Time, did you get everything you wanted to talk about with the Clippers Hawks out?
Yeah, Jim, if you do end up moving on this game, will you be on the first half or full game?
Oh, full game.
Full game. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna let the market marinate a little bit in this as well. I mean, I'm with you, and these are the kind of spots where I feel like this is where I can capitalize in the NBA in spots like this. So, I might get to the window on it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna look at it after the show.
Move on to our next spot on the board. The Charlotte Hornets 6-15, 1-9 on the road. The New York Knicks 13-7, 10-1 at Madison Square Garden. Charlotte and the Knicks both in the bottom 5 or 6 in the league in pace. 6 and 7. Charlotte 24th, 100.06 possessions a game. The Knicks 26th, 99.35 possessions a game. Let's get into the line history and the setup here as well. Let's take a quick look at that injury report here. We know the situation. It's a nice one. LaMelo probable. So we know that LaMelo will be in. No Connaughton, no Josh Green, no Trey Mann, no Miller, no Williams. So, Ball, Knuppel, James, Bridges, Kalkbrenner. We know no OG for a while. No Mitchell Robinson, no Shamet. So it's Brunson, McBride, Hart, McCall, Bridges, and Cat. So no surprises. We know the situation, which makes things much, much easier. Let's set this one up because these teams have squared off already this year in some pretty interesting spots. So let's get this one set up. We saw the 129-101 Knicks victory. That's when the Knicks were doing nothing on the road. Seemingly couldn't win on the road. They went into Charlotte and absolutely annihilated them. Charlotte's in the New York area. They played Brooklyn on Monday, lost 116-103. They had 2 wins in a row. One of them was at home over the Raptors, who are playing good ball. The Knicks had their winning streak snapped in a 123-117 loss at the Celtics last night. So we have the second half of the back-to-back off of the loss here. Line history-wise, cash flow, let's do that, and then hear what Derl has to say about this spot. The New York Knicks -9 right now. -9, -110. They opened up at 8, got up to 10. This was a 10 at 11:30 p.m. last night. Now we have a 9. From a total side of things here, with the Knicks off a loss, we have a 236. Opened up at 237, hung out around there, went to 235.5. It just moved up to 236 about 30 minutes ago. When we get to the cash flow for this spot, we have 50% of the tickets and 87% of the cash on the New York Knicks. We did see some line movement earlier, but we don't see as much right now. In fact, this line opened up at 11:06 p.m. at circa 9.5. So it's now a 9, a half-point move towards Charlotte. Now, they have the big bets in on Charlotte, 56% of tickets, 89% of cash. So they're respecting the cappers who are betting Charlotte over at circa. And here, if we look at the same thing over at Action, we have 81% of tickets, 78% of cash. So it doesn't matter where you look. The Knicks are a public spot. Maybe not tickets-wise on Odds Logic, but everywhere else. Darryl, take it away. Hornets, Knicks.
No play for me on this game, but these are some things that stuck out. Kind of, again, where the ebb and flow of what the game is. Charlotte is ranked 3rd in the league, man, first quarter scoring. They're 3rd in the league, averaging over 31.5 points. They're right under Denver and right under Miami, who's first in the league. But these last 3 games, 26.7. So you talk about a huge fall off here. On the flip side, New York is in the middle of the pack, man. They're averaging 29.8 points a game in the first quarter. But in their last 3, 35.3. 2 teams going in 2 different directions when it at least comes to the first quarter. And so I feel like you can't get in front of New York when they're in the Garden. You just can't. The narrative is that you fade them when they are on the road because they're like two different teams, Jekyll and Hyde here. But when New York is at home, man, you can't get in front of it at all. So I wanted to kind of steer towards like a first quarter play, but I just wonder what holds more weight. The most recent body of work that each team has done, the last three, or what their season average is, right? Because they tell two different stories. So for now, it's no play for me on this. I want to look at this a little more. Obviously, on a personal side, I've just been betting Jalen Brunson points. He's usually at 28.5, 29.5. I don't think he got there last game. I didn't play him last game, but I know that was a prop that stuck out as far as his points. But for right now, just no play for me on this. Also, there's a lot of buzz with Con Canupo. Every time I play Con Canupo, I lose. I'm never on the right side of it, man. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's his threes or his points. So I think I've hit one con prop once. And then after that, I've just, every time I'm on him, his props, I lose it. So I'm just like, okay, let me kind of steer away from that. But if you see how he's talking to the media, he's saying all the right things as a 20-year-old, man. Sounds like a vet right now. He sounds like what LaMelo should sound like. And so for right now, it's a no play for me, but it's something I might entertain later.
I like it. I get the spot. I'm hesitant to back either side here as well. Sort of feels like the Sharps are on Charlotte, and I don't want to fade the Knicks off of a loss. Justin McKelvey on Brunson, 30 plus at minus 120 his pocket. Wham Bam liking the under, says both teams bottom 5 in pace last 5. Robert Franklin on Towns over 2.5 assists and under 12.5 boards. Let's shout out to Dabby Cab in the house. Great to see you, Dabby. Let's hear from Line Time Sports. Hornets, Knicks, MSG. Take it away.
Shout out to my guy, Dabby Cab in the chat. Shout out to everyone in the chat. AOD in there, Justin McKelvey, my guy Stacks, Chris Warren, Jason Meyer, Balling on a Budget, Chris Warren, everyone in there, guys. Shout out to you guys for being here. This is a tough game right here for me, guys. I'm actually right where Darryl was talking about the Brunson prop. I was watching that Celtics-Knicks game last night. Brunson shot 6 of 21 from the field, 1 of 8 from 3. 15 points still because he was able to get to he got to the line a couple times, but I like that prop. I think he probably goes over that, whatever it is right now, because especially yesterday, it was a tough game. Jordan Clarkson couldn't get anything going for them off the bench. They only lost by 6. The game was a lot closer, and these guys did not play well at all for the Knicks. The Knicks can go out here and easily blow these guys out of the gym. But at the same time, it seems like the Hornets are the sharp side. Doesn't give me a good angle, at least a good enough angle to move on this. It's going to be a pass for me. Shout out to my guy Nick from Water Talk Cooler podcast, my guy right there. Shout out to you and your new coach over there with Auburn, and good win against Bama over the weekend. Shout out to you, my guy.
We have, our guy Nick Frazier in the house. Want to get him on our show tomorrow to talk college football. We've conference finals week. We're going to have Wine Times looks on Friday. Rob Freeze, Knicks first half team total over. A ball on a budget. Robert Franklin on McBride under 11.5 points. Bo Jackson says the Nets are live. Let's roll into that spot. Brooklyn Nets 4-16, 3-7 on the road at the Chicago Bulls 9-11, 6-2 at home at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. The second fastest pace Chicago Bulls, 104.51 possessions a game against the second slowest pace Brooklyn Nets, 97.4 possessions a game. Who will be dictating that pace? Let's talk about the spot and get it all set up, especially with the injury information, because as you know, the Bulls injury list is like the Patriots with Belichick. Kobe White out, Herter out, Okoro doubtful, and then questionable Terry, Smith, Jones, Collins, Williams. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just, actually Williams is a probable. I mean, it's an absolute mess here. We know the situation for the Nets. No Thomas, no Mann, no Highsmith. Everything else clear. Demon, Martin, Porter, Clowney, and Claxton, your 1-2-5. For the Bulls, Giddey, Jones, who's questionable.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with this game here. Seeing these last 4 games, there's 86% plus cash on some of these sides right here. And a lot of money coming in on the Chicago Bulls. And yeah, you're seeing it 7.5 at some spots. I'm getting an 8. I would only be on the Brooklyn Nets here. And it's kind of crazy. We're getting a lot of love in the chat for the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, look at this team. This is not the worst. This starting 5 is trash, man. It's really bad out there. I don't see how any way they can hang within 8 points, even against a broken down Bulls team that's lost 4 in a row. They've had some injuries along the way. And I really don't think the Chicago Bulls team is that good. When your best player is Josh Giddey, and Vucevic, I guess you could say. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily the right recipe for success. With that being said, I can't really back the Brooklyn Nets because – I don't know. This starting 5 is horrible that they're throwing out there. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. is going to be your best scorer out there. You know what I mean? I don't like it. I want nothing to do with this game. If anything, I guess I would move on the Brooklyn Nets because we're seeing a lot of money coming in on the Bulls. Circa's got an 8 right now. It got up to a 9 at one point. It got to a 7, back to an 8, back to a 9, back to an 8.5, back to an 8. It's a tricky game. I want nothing to do with it. It's going to be a pass for me.
Saturated on Giddey, PRA. Darryl Rice, talk to us, my man. Nets Bulls.
Hey, man, I already stepped on it, man. And then I saw Justin do it too. So salute to brother there, man. Brooklyn Nets are 5th worst in the league against point guards and their assists. 5th worst in the league. Give me Josh Giddey over 9.5 assists. Already stepped on that, man. I think that's the spot to look at. Josh actually just put up goose eggs. I don't want to say goose eggs, but he did not put up good assist numbers these last 4 games. This is a bounce back game for him. He gave you 9 against Charlotte, 7 against the Pacers, 6 against the Magic, as he should because it's the Magic, 11 against the Wizards. I feel like this is where it's going to be again. He's going to get right at that 11, 12 assists for this specific team and this specific scenario. So, take away their 4-game skid. He put up some numbers, but not the numbers we should expect. But now being back at home, I just feel like this is the spot where he's going to treat these guys just like the Wizards, put up double-digit assists. I love that play. Give me Giddey over 9.5 assists.
Giddy over 9.5 assists. I'm looking at a very sharp book that is blocked here. Blocked the Giddy assist prop. Interesting. What was the vig on the over 9.5 assists?
Mine was minus 114. I saw Justin got it at plus 102. So I'll line shop, but I usually just stick with my local. Here in California, there's not really much we can do with the gambling. So I try to line shop. But you probably will always get a better line than what I have because I just deal with my local that I have dealt with for years. So I saw Justin got it at plus 102. It's a 16-cent move. I got it at minus 114.
You're in business here. El Dorado Custodian talking about a homie from Louisiana. Hey, man, look, if he's a friend of yours, he'll be a friend of ours. So, if you like him, because I mean, when we all get together, it's like we've known each other for 20 years, all of us. Like even if you've never met the person once, the capping that we've done together for so long, it's just. But if he's a homie of yours, man, yeah, the more the merrier. We're going to be doing it up again. Talking Pubapalooza popping off March 25th to 30th here, and we're pumped up, man. Pumped up about Pubapalooza 5. Pubapalooza 5. Let's roll here. Next spot on the board: Sacramento Kings 5-16, 2-9 on the road at the Houston Rockets, 13-5, 5-2 at home. Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. The management brass that's putting together teams like the Kings and the Clippers, it's like they're drafting a video game.
Yeah.
They don't understand how the intricacies that go into building a basketball team of players that trust each other and have the skills that work within a group. And the Kings are the perfect definition of that. I mean, you draft that team in 2K, you'd be like, man, it's a good looking group.
Yep.
And then you watch them play and you're like, oh, wait. Oh, no. What have I done? What the hell have I done? Let's talk about the spot here. We do have injury issues for the Sacramento Kings, which is obviously a part of it. But even when, Sabonis was good to go, it wasn't like this team was rolling. Let's grab this here. We have right now Sabonis out, of course, will be out for a while. Schroeder questionable, and Malik Monk probable, which will help. Schroeder is just crazy. I mean, playing for Germany, he's an MVP. And if Masai Ujiri doesn't want you on his basketball team, then nobody will. And that's why he's just being passed around ever since Masai was like, look, we don't want him. We have Finney Smith out, Terry Eason out, and then Steven Adams questionable. But Amen, Reed Shepard, Durant, Jabari, and Sengun is the 1 to 5 for the Houston Rockets. Let's set this one up and see what our cappers are going to do. We're going to start with it's Derl here for this one. So let's get the line history and everything up for this spot. First off, the Sacramento Kings coming off their third straight loss, 115-107 at home to Memphis. They lose by margin against Phoenix, Utah, and Memphis. I mean, just ugly. Looked like they were building a little bit of, some legitimacy here, some momentum after beating Denver in Minnesota, though that's come to a screeching halt. The Rockets had their 3-game winning streak snapped in the second game of back-to-back games at Utah, 133-125. KD did his part, went for 32, but they got outshot, they got out-rebounded, and played sloppy and fell apart in the second half here. It started, I guess, in the second quarter, but they weren't locked in, and they dealt with the consequences. Let's take a look at the line history and see first with Darryl and then wine time how they want to attack the spot. Houston minus 15.5. Opened up at 15, now 15.5. Just a huge number. From a total side of things here, we have 229.5. This opened up at 236. Oh, wow. And all the other times where we've had, now this is 6.5 points. So we're not at 7 yet. But all the other times we've had a line move 7 points, it's always been to the over. It's always been to the over. It's not been to the under. So this is new. This is different. And I don't believe this is injury related either. Very interesting. Let's take a look at the cash flow then for this spot. Cash flow wise, We have 50% of tickets, 87% of cash on the Houston Rockets. Lines moved a half point in their direction. Some spots opened at 13.5. We're seeing a 15. Then we have 77% of tickets on the under and 84% of cash on the under. Take it away for us, Derl. Kings, Rockets. Floor's yours.
Hey, did you guys know that was Houston's first back-to-back of the season?
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
That is.
That was their first back-to-back of the season. Somebody can quote me and double-check me on that, but I was reading something about Ime talking about how they handled a back-to-back, and they got smacked. They got smacked by the Jazz on a back-to-back. So just a little something to keep in the back of your head. When you see them as heavy favorites, or if they're laying points off a back-to-back. They lost outright, even though, like you said, a good game with Kevin Durant. Sacramento's got more rest, man. They haven't played since the 30th. So they've got an extra days of rest over Houston. All right. So that's, they've been sitting kind of getting fat and chilling, eating Thanksgiving leftovers. I feel after that loss, though, that Ime is a good enough coach to where he can spot the issues and take care of those issues right away. And so looking at them coming off a back-to-back and just losing outright to the Jazz, I feel this is a get-right game for them. I don't like the points, though. I don't like the points at all. That still seems like it's a lot of points. It just seems like it's too many. Right now, what's the golden rule when it comes to Sacramento? Well, you automatically take Westbrook's props when he's playing against a former team, right? You always do that. He just kind of gets up for a team that he used to play for, and so you just take his props. I'm going a different direction. Sacramento Kings, when regarding the point guard position, is the worst ranked defensive team in the league when it comes to that point guard and his assists. Give me Reed Shepherd over 3.5 assists. I like it. I think he gets back to form. Just for what it's worth, they played the Jazz, 4 assists. Played the Golden State Warriors, 5 assists. Played the Suns, 5 assists. Played the Nuggets, 4 assists. Wet the bed against the Jazz, 2 assists. It's a get-right spot for him. And I think that Ime is going to have him learn from that back-to-back situation and learn how to play these games the right way. I like Reed Shepherd over 2.5, or over 3.5 assists. I just think, according to how they are defensively, that being Sacramento Kings, Reed's going to be able to get the ball off and make a couple passes to get either some good, shots from KD, some good shots from Sengun. I don't know how it's going to go, but I do like that. I also like Sengun over his points, 23.5. With no Domas still being there, man. I mean, this guy, I heard Jay say it a couple of days ago, and I haven't looked at, I've looked at him differently now, but it makes a lot of sense. And that is, Sengun is nothing but a baby Joker. He plays just like Joker. And I was like, wow, that's a good comparison, man. And sure enough, like I'm looking at this dude play, he's already got the swag there, So I just think that with KD back on the court, it just really opens up the game for him as well. It really does. So give me Sengun over 23.5 points. Give me Reed Shepherd over 3.5 assists, and a little sprinkle, but I will make it official. At -115, I got Sengun for a double-double.
Sengun double-double. Look, I love Sengun, but I think we should tap the brakes in comparing him to the greatest player that we've seen.
Well, I can see it, man. I mean, listen, you don't know where this guy's going to be here in the next couple of years, but he's playing some good ball. He's definitely confident.
I know, but I mean, the statistics that are being dropped by Jokic are the greatest. We haven't seen anybody have statistics that have blown our mind since Wilt? I mean, Jordan's second and third year in the NBA? Jokic's statistical profile is the finest that we've ever seen in the history of the sport.
And he's also been in the league twice as long as Sengun. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that if you're kind of just forecasting, You know, like he's got a lot of upside and potential. Alperin he's definitely no joke. So to say he's just, you know, some bum, no man, this guy is making waves in his position. He's a true five.
He's playing very well. He's a very good basketball player. Sengun double at minus 115. Sengun over 23.5 points. What was the vig there? You're muted, my man.
23.5 minus 115.
Okay. And then the 3.5 assists.
Reed Shepard, 3.5 assists minus 134.
All right. You are in business. We have Darryl firing 3 shots at this Kings Rockets spot. Wine Time Sports. Kings Rockets. Look, if the Rockets weren't coming off of a loss, I would have interest messing with the Kings in some way, whether it be a first quarter or first half. I've actually, with the Kings first half, it's gone well for me this year. But I do not. I mean, they poked the bear. Now it's their third game in 4 nights. Wine Time, take it away. Kings Rockets.
I mean, you guys know. I mean, this Kings team, it's bad. We've been talking about it all season long. It's crazy at this point. If you were to tell me in the beginning of the season, both these teams are 0-0, and there's a 15.5 point spread for this game with these two rosters, I would say you're out of your mind. Why is Rockets laying 15.5? Here we are. It's December 3rd, 2025, and the Kings with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook, Malik Monk coming off the bench are 15.5 point underdogs against the Houston Rockets. Guys, I don't do this very often. I don't lay these kinds of numbers very often, but I'm going to lay it here. I'm laying the 15.5 points here with the Houston Rockets. I think they're going to blow these guys.
Talk your shit, Wine.
I think they're going to blow these guys out of the gym. I don't think this Kings team has any heart. I don't think that these guys believe in each other. I think it's an individual effort. If all 5 of those guys go out there and do their job, I still don't think it's enough at this point because it just doesn't seem like they're meshing well on the court. What is their record right now? 5-16. It's just crazy because going into the season, I liked this roster. I was like, wow, the Kings got it. You know, they got DeRozan, they have LaVine, you know, got some scores in there, but it's a bunch of one-on-one players, and that doesn't work in the NBA. And the Houston Rockets coming off a loss here. I think the Rockets could probably name their number not only in the full game, but probably in the first half too. For right now, I am moving officially on the Rockets minus 15.5, minus 110.
That's good shit, man. That's good. And you know what Jimmy, you know what the LJ special is at home too, right?
Yes.
It's going to be first quarter, first half also, right?
Well,
so that just kind of.
Yeah, Trill OG play today is the first half over 118 and a half here from our guy LJ from H-Town. Trill OG play today, first half over 118 and a half in Kings Rockets.
From down south, where we ride on clouds. From down south, where we ride on clouds.
Our guy LJ in the house. I respect it. I respect that Rockets coming off of a loss, and the again, my sample size is very small this year in NBA. It's just 75 bets, but the big spreads have not been a problem at all. I'm very nervous betting them. I've just never felt comfortable with them, but they've been going fine. So I could understand. I can understand hammering it. It doesn't quite appeal to me with the third game in 4 nights coming out from Utah, but off of a loss, I like it. Wine Time on the Rockets minus 15 and a half.
There's also some other shit going on there, Jimmy, right? You had that super fan that got kicked out of Sacramento. Yeah. Right? Talking shit to Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine, yeah.
And then there were some just kind of rumors that came out about they're kind of shopping Zach LaVine right now. So you could be on to something there, talking about these big spreads not being a problem, the 3 and 4, and the fact that this team is in disarray. I might just get there with you also one time.
Yeah, Zach LaVine, he's making a lot of money to for everyone wanting to trade him everywhere he goes at this point now. It's I don't know. He's a UCLA guy, you know what I mean? But I just watch him play sometimes. I can't stand the guy anymore. I can't do it. It just seems like he wants to play one-on-one basketball 24/7.
The whole team, it just doesn't work. It's important. I like seeing it. I like seeing these high-paid executives make terrible mistakes. I I like it. I always have. We have action from our Capers and Kings Rockets. We got 2 games left on the NBA card. Let's move on to our next spot on the board. Detroit Pistons 17-4, 8-2 on the road at the Milwaukee Bucks 9-13, just 9-13, 6-6 at home. Pfizer form in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Detroit playing at 10th fastest pace, 101.78 possessions a game, while Milwaukee 22nd at 100.17 possessions a game. We have the Bucks with Giannis Antetokounmpo probable. Prince out. Portis also. We have 3 questionables and 1 probable. At least Antetokounmpo is in. Let's just quickly go over these questionables as they are very important. Bobby Portis was added to the injury report late, so he's got an eye issue. You want to see soft power forward play. Kyle Kuzma will be replacing him if Porter's not available. Let's take a look at Porter next. Oh, well, Gary Harris. Let's take Gary Harris. Listed as questionable. Got right Achilles soreness. So he was a late addition to the injury report ahead of Monday's game. So we'll see here. Gary Harris listed as questionable. So we have Harris listed as questionable. Portis listed as questionable. And then Porter, let's take a look at Porter here quickly. Kevin Porter dealing with muscle spasm in his lower back following Monday's game. So issues, as always, with the injury report. Actually, we had a pretty much cleaner injury report today than what we're used to. That situation for the Heat, it's just Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson is the only issue here. He's questionable. I don't enjoy watching him play ever. But let's just see if he's going to be in the lineup. He is there starting 2, generally speaking. He was there. He was at shoot-around. So that's another thing here that's important is that we've already had shoot-around. And so we know that Duncan Robinson was at shoot-around. They're not giving us any update on Porter, and Harris, which is not a very good sign. So that's the situation here. Let's take a look at this line history and the setup for this situation. Here we have the Milwaukee Bucks playing horrible, just losing and losing and losing. They went into Washington and lost on Monday night, lost to the Wizards on Monday night. Their only win over the last 5 was versus the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, this is just an absolute mess right now. They stopped their 7-game losing streak with a 116-99 victory at home over Brooklyn. Go right back on the road and go right back to their losing ways. Porter Jr. goes for 30. It doesn't matter. This team is an absolute mess. So you look at their last 3 games. I mean, they beat Brooklyn. They beat Charlotte, but they needed overtime to beat Charlotte. Needed overtime to beat them at home. They just lost the night before to them. They beat Dallas by 2 points. I mean, this is a team that's not going to make the playoffs at this point. So we have a very, very ugly situation here for the Milwaukee Bucks. And the Pistons, at this point, I mean, they're the class of the Eastern Conference.
Yep.
Winners, they had that 2-game hiccup, that 2-game losing streak. Then they go into Miami and beat them.
Yes.
Barely beat Atlanta at home, but they're winning those close games. They're winning the one. All their games seem to be very close ones. Let's take a look at the line history and then hand this over to our guys. We'll have a Wine Time hitting leadoff for this one. We have a total at 230. It's dropped 3 points, 230. Opened up at 233, and the first move was a 2.5-point move to the under. So someone hammered that under 233, and the books respected it. From a point spread standpoint here, we have the Pistons minus 4.5. This opened up at 3.5, dropped to 3.5, and now we have a 4.5. I mean, it seems to make sense to me, man. Now, let's see if we can get the public on Milwaukee. I find that difficult to believe. No, public, of course, on Detroit. 71% of tickets, 86% of cash on the Pistons, but the market moving. 65% of tickets on the under and 78% of cash on the under. Let's take a look at action, see if they tell us any kind of a different story. What they're telling us here is that 58% of tickets, 58% of cash on the Pistons. Here we go. Wine Time Sports. Pistons, Bucks. Take it away.
I want to be on Detroit here in this spot, guys. I mean, laying 4.5 against a team that just they can't get it together right now. The Milwaukee Bucks curious to see what happens with this team going forward if they just continue to lose games like this. But I mean, losing to the Washington Wizards, that's why I can't be on Detroit here, because Milwaukee coming off such a disappointing loss, they kind of really need this game. I know it's still early on in the season, 9-13 record, not looking too good, and they don't look like they're a playoff type caliber team. Something tells me maybe we get their best effort here against the best team in the East. Maybe Giannis is going to go off for 40 in this one. Still going to need more out of the role players. This Detroit team has been good since last season when we've been capping them. We made so much money back in this team over the last year. I wish I would have. I haven't really gotten too involved with them too much this year. Wonder what they are ATS right now. But with that being said, I don't know. From an X's and O standpoint, the Detroit Pistons, I can't do it. And do I think this line might be a little bit short, as bad as Milwaukee's playing? Maybe a little short, 4.5, what we're seeing. I mean, this line opened up at a 3 and it's moved to a 4.5. I think that's pretty telling at some spot. So that's also, Circa's hanging a 4.5 right now. They opened up at a 3 last night at 7:02 p.m. Right now, their handle has 67% of tickets and 54% of cash on Detroit. So more tickets than cash coming in on Detroit, and the line is moving. I guess they did get up to a 5, and it went back to a 4.5. Where else can we look right here? We could look at South Point. They as well opened this up at a 3, and it went to a 4, and now is a 4.5. And they have 62% of tickets and 87% of cash on Detroit. Definitely seems like some sharp money is coming in on some of these books, and the other books are probably adjusting correctly. And I don't know. I can't be on the Pistons here, and I can't be on the Bucks. It just doesn't correlate enough for me. If I'm going to look at it from a must-win game, somewhat of a short line, but at the same time, this opened up at a 3. So I don't know. It's a difficult cap here, guys. If I was going to move on, if I was, going to give me, like $500 on one of these teams, I'd probably take the Bucks on the money line because we're getting some nice plus money, and they are a 4.5 point dog. So I don't really need the points. I would just need them to win the game and as a dog, and I'm not going to do it here. Doesn't correlate enough for me. I wish I could, because this is a really interesting spot. I'll definitely be trying to look on this game live and see where we are, but nothing for me as of right now.
This doesn't appeal that much to me either. I mean, Chris Warren says this action to me says Pistons, and I think that's absolutely legitimate here. And he says this line's respecting Milwaukee. I mean, I guess that's a well put. It's respecting Milwaukee. See, I see a team that's lost 6 of 7 against a team that's 17-4, and see a 3 and think, oh, I'm going to be robbed. I'm going to get robbed. I'm always, I don't get robbed because I'm worried about getting robbed. It's the ass clown that doesn't worry about getting robbed. Now, in saying that, the books are moving the line towards the Pistons, so anyone who's on the Pistons can feel legitimacy. But I understand why Stacks is on the Bucks plus 4.5, because it's a fishy number. It's not very big, and also when it's a small number and it's moving towards the favorite, that doesn't always inspire too much confidence to me either. I like it when the public's on the side and the line just doesn't move. It just sits there. I don't even like it when it moves towards the dog, because then they're telling us. I like it when it just sits there, gives no information whatsoever, but we know the information. So this is tricky. Nancy said, I thought you don't get robbed because of the sharpened chopstick in your pocket. No, the only real dangerous spot, after I got it with way too much money in my pocket, I got locked out with no phone at the Southtown. Like 5 in the morning. All of a sudden, it's like 4:30 in the morning. I'm just alone in the parking lot, and I walked back, and way too much money in my pocket. I walked past this clear giant dude, clear drug dealer sitting in a playground, this huge dude, and I know for sure he was like, "Oh, this is a plant." For sure, he was like, "Oh, there's no way this white boy just gonna walk through this playground." He thought for sure. He's like, for sure, there's undercover something. No white boy walking through a playground like this.
Yeah, you the feds.
It's dangerous shit. But other next thing, you remember that was the diciest spot. But other than that, I keep myself pretty safe situations. Darryl, take it away. Pistons Bucks.
Yeah. So this is the way I thought about it and why the line was what it was. So the Pistons made their 12th win in a row against Milwaukee on the 22nd. they play them tonight, and then they play them again on Saturday night. A lot of familiarity happening between the 22nd and on Saturday. That's the first thing. They have back-to-back losses, like you said, Jay, against Boston and Orlando. Two really good teams. I mean, and Boston is kind of coming together at the right time right now. So I think they just caught them. They caught Boston at the wrong time. And then obviously Orlando is who Orlando is, right? But they've had these back-to-back wins, and they've only been by one possession. So they beat Miami 138-135, and then they beat Atlanta 99-98. So I think you kind of cluster that with these real close losses where they didn't cover the spread, if I'm right. Yeah, they did not cover that spread against Atlanta. But they covered the spread against Miami. Two close games happening on back-to-back wins. And then you have Milwaukee coming off an abysmal loss against, out of all teams, the fucking Washington Wizards. So I just feel that, as you say, Wine Time, the books are kind of respecting Milwaukee to a certain degree. And then you have the Pistons, number one in the East, coming off wins, but they're close wins. So I think that's why you have the line the way it is. I would have loved to see where this line would have been months ago, right? But to me, I believe the Sharps are on Detroit. And I say all that to say I am on Detroit. Now, this is a tinfoil hat play for me here. And this is the reason why. Did y'all see some kind of tweet come out from some, I don't know if she was a troll or like a real writer, sports writer. I think her name is Emma Vance, talking about there are talks right now with Giannis wanting to go to the Lakers. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
It could be a total, a total troll move. Could be totally false. But I did look at this Emma Vance profile, and she's, she writes a lot about sports, and she's not backing down on that claim, right? Not really reputable. I've never heard of her at all. But the fact of the matter is that now it's out there, and now it's got traction. And once again, man, it's just the way I've always capped is when you've got too much noise happening with one team, how good can you block it out? And I just don't think Doc is a good enough coach to have these guys coached up like that. I really don't. And so I think Detroit just repeats what they've already done in Milwaukee. And they're going to do it again. This will be a spot where they just sweep them. And, tonight and on Saturday when they play again. So I like Detroit here. Give me Detroit -4.5, man. I was going to make that I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is play. But I just think Detroit is really good right now, man. Really, really good. I really do. They're number one in the East for a reason. And yeah, you do want to say that Giannis is not going to let them lose these kind of games that they're losing right now. But man, they were up like 16 points the second half, and they lost outright to the fucking Washington Wizards. Come on, man. What are we doing here? I just think these teams are going two different directions here, and we don't know if the noise is real or false. It's what's happening in Milwaukee right now. Give me Detroit, bro, all day. Detroit -4.5.
I get it. It's just it's not my wheelhouse. This type of situation here. Then there's not. Be honest, at this point, the only spot on this board that I would say does sort of fit the criteria of where I get paid is the Clippers. I do really like the look you guys are on the Magic, though.
Yeah.
I like how big that spread is. I want things to be expensive if I'm on a favorite. I want it to be expensive. And then if I'm on a dog, I want it to not make any sense. It's basically the two angles here that have been working for me, although my sample size has gone down, and I think that's helped as well. When else do you give an hour and a half to cap games, with your friends. AM, I agree. The Hornets are worth a look. It's a very, very interesting line moving towards the Hornets right now. Let's talk about our final spot on the board. Darryl going to hit lead off. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Wednesday, December 3rd. We have massive shows on Thursday and Friday as well here that I'm pumped up about, where we bring the college football action into play. 8:30 p.m. Eastern with the Miami Heat 14-7, 4-5 on the road. Dallas Mavericks 7-15, 4-9 at home. American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, with the fastest pace in the league all year long in the Miami Heat, 106.09 possessions a game, going up against the sixth fastest pace in Dallas Mavericks, 102.50 possessions a game. Let's take a look at the injury report for these two squads. I just had it up here. We have a questionable. So Norman Powell is a questionable right now. We know how important he is to this squad. And we'll see. He's got a sprained ankle at this point. So he's going to go through warm-ups. He's going to try to play, and we expect that he should be able to play at this point. So he's going to go through warm-ups. That's Norman. Then we have Pelle Larsson as well, questionable here. Let's take a look at their thoughts on Pelle Larsson. Sprained toe, day-to-day. So at this point, we don't know. They're certainly not saying he's going to be there in warm-ups and see if he can go. So Storm and Norman being the more likely of the two. For these Mavericks, we know Lively out. It's Washington and Gafford who are both questionable. I guess the importance of it goes down a little bit, with AD back. But remember also for Pelle Larsson, we've already had shoot around. So if they're not telling us, look, he was out at shoot around, he's gonna. It's. I don't know if Pelle Larsson plays. We do know that Washington was at shoot around. He was at shoot around, so you can expect that he's likely to be in the lineup here. Let's see our next spot. See if Gafford, was at shoot around quickly, and then we'll be able to roll through here. Sorry, got off there for a second. Here we go. We'll see if Gafford right now was at shoot around, and yes. So I think that you can expect both Gafford, PJ Washington to be in the lineup. I think that Norman Powell is going to try, and I don't know if Larsson will play. So that's the way I sort of see things here, which is probably a good injury outlook for the Dallas Mavericks, and who knows what the hell the injury lookout is going to be for the Miami Heat. We have this Heat squad who have played so well this year, have not been playing well on the road. They haven't been playing on the road all year. Let's get into the line history. We have the Heat -5, a big move. I'm looking at a 5.5 as well, a big move towards the Heat. This opened up at 2.5. Huh. That's just a huge move. My computer moving very, very slowly here. Let's get off that. Let's take a look at the total. From a total side of things, we have this sitting right now at 240. Very fast-paced teams battling each other here. This opened up at 240.5, got up to 241, just dropped down to 240. And then when we get to the cash flow here, 54% of the tickets and 90% of the cash is on Dallas. 54 and 90. Wow. And this line's moving that quickly. Circa has 50% of the tickets on Dallas and 92% of cash on Dallas, and they've moved Miami from -4 to -5. They did get up to 5.5. So the books are screaming at us. It doesn't matter who Dallas puts in the lineup. They're going to lose. We have the Heat coming off a nice 4-game homestand. Their last road game, they delivered business. And then you have the opposite with these Mavs coming back from a road trip. So we start a 2-game road trip here for the Heat. God, I'm a little surprised here that this line's moved as fast as it has to the Heat. Let's roll our last spot on the board. Darryl, take it away. Heat Mavericks. You're muted, my man.
Oh man, I'm pulling wine times all day here. Yeah. So I mean, I'll just make it simple. I like the Heat. Give me the Heat -5.5. I got the ass end of the number, but I'll take it. They're the fastest team in the league right now, man. And Dallas is not going to be able to compete with that. AD is not going to be able to run up and down, man. I don't see it happening right now. But this is what I also did. I took the other half of that parlay with Dyson Daniels assists is Bam for a double-double. I got Bam at a double-double. Dyson Daniels over 5.5 assists. Parlayed that together. I got plus 250.
Bam.
Miami Heat is
double. That was plus 2.
Plus 250.
Okay, keep rolling.
Yeah, Miami Heat is just on a tear right now, man. They're playing pretty good. Also, quietly scoring buckets, Tyler Hero. I mean, he's at 22 and a half for plus 109, and I don't like that. I don't like, not unless, I don't know the history of his points, not unless he was at a 21 and a half earlier, and now they just boosted it up. But, I mean, his points, 22 against the Clippers, 24 against Detroit, 29 against Milwaukee, 24 against Dallas. So he's already put up buckets against this team. So I don't see how Dallas even scores, how can they even come close to competing with how Miami's playing right now? I don't know. I just didn't want to really put too much thought into this. 5.5 to me is more than enough points for Miami to cover, and I think they do. So give me Miami Heat over 5.5. Minus 5.5. And I did do the parlay on that double with Bam and Dyson Daniels.
You're in business. Just before you jump in, one time, I mean, there's fives everywhere. I think it's important.
I'm getting a 5 everywhere too.
So let's give you the 5. I think it's important to stay under that hook here.
Yeah,
and I know it's tricky for you guys, in Cali. Heat minus 5, minus 110. Take it away. Wine time.
Yeah, shout out to Johnny Guns. I thought he was joking, but he said, yeah, Giannis and his agent are talking to the Bucks about his future. Gerald tinfoil hat. And I just looked it up. ESPN 7 minutes ago has released, Shams posted it. They're having discussions with the Milwaukee Bucks about the MVP's future and discussing whether it is best for him to stay or move elsewhere. Lakers, nothing says about that, but it is being discussed as of 7 minutes ago, which is kind of crazy. Shout out to Darryl for that. He obviously had that information before he came on here, so shout out to him for that. I'm with you. I'm on the Miami Heat. Give me the minus 5, minus 110. They're going to blow these guys out of the gym, honestly. I think people are coming in probably back in the Mavericks just because they've had back-to-back wins and Anthony Davis is playing well. But I don't know. I look at this Miami Heat starting 5, and now that they're healthy, they've got a solid starting 5 out there, and they've got one of the better coaches in the NBA. I think I think they blow these guys out. I know it's in Dallas, but give me Miami Heat. I'm getting a minus 5 at minus 110. Lock me in for that. I love this. I might throw 2 units on this, honestly. I think Miami's going to smash these guys.
Yeah.
Wow. Wine time also on the Heat, minus 5, minus 110. I guess I need to spend a little bit more time. For me, like, historically, I don't, want to back a team that just finished a 4-game homestand, feeling good about themselves. And this is a team that's won 7 of 8. The opening line was so short, but it's a very loud and clear move by the market. So I can completely understand why you guys are on it. Justin McKelvey saying Davis hurt again. I mean, he's not on the injury report right now, but that's I get it. We have the NBA spreadsheet play of the day is the New York Knicks minus 9. Knicks minus 9 here is the spreadsheet play of the day. Shout out to our guy, Ron Crawford. If you're listening on headphones, you might want to turn it down a little bit. Shout out to Ron Crawford. And the stacks play today in NBA is that Magic Spurs over 234 and a half.
Stacks.
Well, I clearly have a lot more work to do on this card here, but let's review the plan of attack for all of us. In the first game on the board, we have Derl on Spider over 28.5 points, minus 113. Wine time on the Cavs. First half team total over 65, minus 115. That's a flat 65. Then we have Derl on the over 236.5, minus 110 in Nuggets Pacers. Justin McKelvey on Jokic triple-double and Nuggets to win. Tied them together at plus 115. Now, there's how many spots on the board here? There is just 2 spots on the board. You guys are both on the same bet. And I really like this first one, the Magic minus 8. I I really like it. I think it's clean. I think it's clear, concise. I get it. I understand what we're doing. And I'm going to join you guys on that. Darryl's on the Magic -8. He's on Suggs over 15.5 points. Suggs over 2.5 threes. One time on the Magic -8. Then we have Derl on Nikhil Alexander Walker over 21.5 points and over 2.5 threes. Look, I think the Clippers is the single spot on the board that is the most confusing, which in turn is the most appealing. Who in the world wants to back this 5-16 team against the Hawks, who are playing so well? The line is so short. The public on the other side. I think it's going to become a must bet. I'm going to sit with it after the show. And again, it doesn't. We don't have tip off for 4 hours and 20 minutes. But then we have Darryl on Giddey over 9.5 assists. Justin McKelvey on that bet too. So that's the corner of Darryl and McKelvey Boulevard, Darryl and Stacks Boulevard over 9.5 assists. Then we have Darryl on Shepherd over 3.5 assists, Sengun over 23.5 points, and Sengun double. Wine time on the Rockets -15.5. We have Darryl on the Pistons -4.5. That's not the corner of Darryl and Stacks Boulevard because they're going heads up in that one. We have Justin on the Bucks and Darryl on the
Bucks. Okay, brother.
Yeah, that's not the corner. Then we have both Darryl and Wine Time on the Heat, and it does make a lot of sense. I just switching from home to the road. I know they've won their last 2 games on the road, but before that they were 2-5 on the road. But they're clearly playing great basketball, and Spo is just spectacular coach. They're both on the Heat at -5. Darryl is also on Dyson Daniels over 5.5 assists, tying that with Bam double. That's at +250. Wine time on the Heat -5. Fellas, thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Darryl, my man, love these Wednesdays. Know that you are going to have your comeuppance. Your comeuppance.
Today, man. Let it start today. That's why I unloaded the clip. So let it start today.
I love it, my man. And we'll have all the records back up for our guests here next week. It's just that this transition right now with football season in full effect, and it is a very, very difficult one for me. The Tuesday night bankroll blitz into this show here Wednesday morning. Let's get the Darryl's X handle here in the chat. Hit this link. Support our guy, Darryl Rice. It's Darryl in the house. And hopefully we get to rock with him. Pubapalooza 5. I'll pop that link here in the chat. Darryl, my man, thank you for rocking with us. Any last words for the Cappers supporting the show?
One time, Jimmy, man. It's been great. Always great talking ball with y'all. Appreciate it, man. You guys be safe. Best of luck on everything y'all bet today. Let's get paid.
Let's go.
You're the great man. There he is, Darryl Rice in the house. Wine time. We'll be back in business on Friday. Looking forward to hear the conference championship spots that you will be attacking. We are going to start our work on those conference championships tomorrow. But love cooking with you. You're right. It's been a while, and it won't be long till we're drinking tequila at the Southtown 101 in the warm, in the sunshine in studio. I'm a Pop Wine Times X handle here in the chat. Please support our guy Wine Time Sports, delivering the goods in NBA. Wine Time, you're the man. Thank you for all your hard work, angles, edges, insights, my friend. Get that cash. We're all excited about this next month for you. It's a real exciting time for the Wine Time household here. The due date is after Christmas. If anybody's wondering, it's after Christmas.
Yep.
But we are now a month away from all that excitement. And so we're thinking of you, sending love to you and the fam, and thinking about you, my friend. Pop your X handle here in the chat. Any last words for the Cappers supporting the show?
Oh, always great capping with you. Great capping with Darryl. Love capping ball with you guys. And yeah, baby girl's going to be here January 2nd. So, I mean, anytime in the next 2 to 4 weeks, she's going to be here. So looking forward to it. Can't wait to meet her. And yeah, it's a blessing for sure. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Everyone showing out as always. Hit the like button on your way out, guys. We're locked and loaded on plays today. Got all day today, pretty much day off this week to start capping the conference championship weekend. So I'm gonna be doing that all day. I'll be posting my plays probably by the end of the night. Shout out to you guys. Love you guys. Have a good rest of your guys' day. Good luck.
There is Wine Time Sports in the house. Well, let's put a bow on the proceedings, and to do that properly, let's bring in the backbone here of Pub Sports Radio, my friend and colleague. Soon I'll be sitting beside at the Southtown 101 in a drunken stupor. Please welcome our friend SN1P5, Jose Bouquet, how are you?
We're doing all right, Jimmy. How are you?
We're good, man. We're good. It's been a tough 24 hours or so. When the Capitals scored that shorthanded goal at the start of the third, I knew right at that point. I could just feel my heartbeat starting to beat faster, and I was like, "Oh, you're not sleeping tonight, man." And so it's been a sleepless night here. AM's talking about how clear your camera is here, Jose. Is there a story?
Yeah, new camera. Told you guys it happened on Wednesday. Well, yeah, I don't like webcams personally, but it's clear. So
Is it a clip-on?
it is.
Okay, so you're clipping it onto the top of your laptop?
Yeah, it's hanging on there.
Oh, that's great. No, this is great. I love this. Very clear, great looking shot. I like it, man. Excellent work. Excellent
Good times.
work.
Not
Good
much to
work.
say. It's just a camera, so not much to say. But
No, it's
there
great.
we go.
I love it. We got a good looking shot here. So we need more lights now. Got to get you more lights. Get that face lit. You need the front facing lights.
Yeah,
We'll get
yeah. The top down light makes me look like I'm an evil villain, but you know.
Okay, yeah, get the Best Buy $25 light. Well, it's about 30 now. It was 25 a while ago. Just a front facing light. Jose Bouquet, my friend. Jose, we have talked NHL. We've talked college basketball. We've talked NBA. Are there any moves you're making on today's card?
No. Last week beat my ass, so I'm in hibernation currently.
Hibernation. Shout out to Bruh Button. New name
Wow.
here in the chat. Now a silver member. We'll see you in the Discord, Bruh Button. And speaking of the Discord, you know, Troy and I have been putting all our NFL action in. This is the lightest amount of NFL action I've had in a long time. It's a very interesting card. I expect to make a couple moves here today. By the way, my father is invested heavily in the Philadelphia Eagles, and I agree with him completely.
Oh, this week?
Yeah, against the Chargers. I agree with him completely.
Yeah. I would also recommend, I'm not betting it, but I would also recommend people go ahead and fade the Dallas Cowboys this week because everyone down here is like, oh my God, -3. Oh my, the Cowboys are gonna win outright. Oh my Lord, no respect for those Cowboys.
Well, that's the thing. I was just waiting to see when we'd get the 2.5.
Do we ever get there?
I mean, you would think with everybody on the couch, because I want the Lions, and then we know we're not far. No, it looks like we're probably not going to get there. Looks like it'll just stay here. The 3 looks like I'll have to move on 3. At the time yesterday, it looked like a bookmaker was really, really sending the Cowboys +3 got up to -118. And I was like, oh man, okay, our 2.5's coming. Our 2.5 is coming. Let's just take a quick look here right now. But I agree with you. I'm on Detroit. I haven't bet it yet because I was just thinking, could I get the 2.5? It's come back. Yeah, it's just going to be flat 3s. Time to move on the flat 3. Let's go over to quickly over to Odds Logic and see what's happening at Pinnacle. But I agree. So those are the 2 additions that I expect to make. Everybody going to be on the Cowboys. We've already heard everybody on the Cowboys during our show on Tuesday. Let's just see. Oh God. Just give me 1 second. It's going to pop up here. So you've not moved yet.
No. It will be a contest pick for me. By the way, guess who forgot to put their context piss in last week? This guy.
Oh no.
Right here, yeah.
Oh,
Holiday
no.
weekend. Beat your ass, man. Get your picks in the holiday weekend.
Oh no. That's too bad because you were a couple games over 500.
Yeah. Well, I'm I'm fighting my own battles, but it's not a big deal either way. We're trying to get on the board for a perfect week to make me feel good about myself. Too many 4-1s, but we're gonna wrap up today's show. I've got so much editing to do still. We've got some videos to put out in the coming future.
Yes, we'll have more college football to edit tomorrow as well. Jose Bouquet, you're the man. Thank you for rocking with us. As always, Jose, love to the family. Thank you guys all for supporting us here at Pub Sports Radio.
Do you think Wine Time's going to name his kid after me?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so too.
It's Jose Fina.
I thought it was going to be just Snips.
No, Jose Fina is the name they're going with. Yeah.
Is that a hyphenated or is that the PH?
Nope. That's just Jose Fina. I love it.
Nice
I love
Jose, and translated in Spanish.
If I have another child, Jose Fina, boy or girl.
Well, I feel that way about Fenway.
Yeah, beautiful Fenway. Fenway does sound nice for a girl. It's okay for a guy. Wrigley's dope. Because we have 2 friends who have named their children after stadiums, right? You know the second one.
No.
Briggsy.
Ah.
Briggs was the famous Detroit baseball stadium. I think it closed down in the 60s, maybe late 50s, early 60s. Justin McKelvey, thank you for all that you do for us. Let's do a review of all action here on the show and then put a bow on the proceedings. Stacks play today. Number 1, Central Connecticut plus 16.5. Number 2, Spurs, Magic over 234.5. Trilogy play today. Kings Rockets first half over 118.5. Virginia money line for the Goracle and Washington Huskies as well. Then Matty Ice Taint play of the day is Youngstown State. Youngstown State minus 3.5. That's Taint. We also have Cal Baptist plus 20.5, Navy minus 12.5, Lamar minus 9.5, and the over 126.5. Arkansas plus 3.5. Central Connecticut State plus 16.5 as well. Then we have here flank stake play of the day. New York Knicks on the spread. Mavericks on the spread. Arkansas on the spread. SMU on the spread. San Jose Sharks money line. Anaheim Ducks money line. And we have Mammoth money line here for Toby Lane. And my plan kind of switched, and I'm going to sit with this market a little bit, but the plan right now is the New Jersey Devils, the Winnipeg Jets, and the Sharks. The lines with these Mammoth games, hard for me not to trust and respect. I want the Ducks, though. I want the Ducks, so I really want to bag Ville Husso. If he's going to step up and deliver, well, they're going to print money because the lines are ridiculous. They think Husso is atrocious. And, he has been at times. He also got a rich contract from Steve Yzerman because he outplayed Binnington and was the best goaltender for the Blues 4 years ago. So we'll see if he can get that magic back. And then the Sharks. So I haven't put those bets in. I have made my 2 bets in college basketball. Harvard Crimson first half plus 3, New Hampshire Wildcats first half plus 5.5. So I have moved on both of those. We have our guy Wine Times Action opening up his account here. College basketball, Minnesota plus 9, Arkansas money line. I may move on Arkansas on the spread. I want to sit with that a little bit more. And then Boston College plus 7. I want to look at both Boston College and Arkansas a little bit longer because I do have interest in both of those. We just went over NBA. We don't need to hit it again. But what I will do is let's take a quick look at what's going on with my 2 spots line-wise here. First one is Harvard. Okay, so it's moved 5 cents against me here. I bet it at the 3 at a different book, but here it was. So it's not moved since I started the show. Then let's see here. Wow, we've had to move towards Arkansas, though. Arkansas down to 2.5. I know there was 3.5s out there. But back to the first half spot. Where's New Hampshire? Show me a 4.5. It's still 5.5 right where I got it. That's a good sign, though. Nobody wants anything to do with New Hampshire. So this line not moving towards Dartmouth, I think is a good sign. There is Morgan Spooner in the house. Says you guys are leaving money on the table, not fading Vermont in this first game of the West Coast road trip. They are against Oregon State tonight. I did look at that game, and I will look at it a little longer. Spooner, my man. Spooner joining us from vacation. Shout out to our guy Morgan Spooner and the family enjoying their vacation.
Where are you in vacation, Spooner? Let us know. I'd love to know where you chose to vacation.
The Caribbean, man.
Oh,
Caribbean,
my God.
Man. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, man.
That's what being successful in sports gambling gets you, huh?
Doing it all in all the right ways. In all the right ways. Shout out to all of you guys in the chat. My dude, Justin McKelvey, Morgan Spooner, Good, Coin, Robert, Cherry. Said she's giving you a shout out. Jose Snips tonight says, who's Jose got in NHL tonight? Any NHL action for you, Jose? None? Zero? Zip? Zilch?
None, but
Nil?
the thing that interests me was that Ducks Mammoth line was a little weird.
Yeah, but we had the same thing in San Jose, Utah. I would prefer to respect the line move. I mean, the line move from in that fucking Buffalo game is just absurd. Plus 113 to minus 130. Chris Warren, Aubrey Travis, Old E, MMA Mad Hatter, still delivering the goods in our Cappers Con. I believe he's number 2. I believe he's 2nd. Johnny Guns in the house. T. Moss, thank you for rocking with us. On behalf of all of us here, Ronnie Crawford, Spreadsheet Playday is the New York and Knicks. Jason Meyer, the Eldorado custodian. Super true story. Much love to all of you guys. Thank you for supporting us here at Pub Sports Radio. Yeah, my man.
Spoon said my wife hit 6K at the casino last night. Oh,
Yeah, man. I've never had. I was telling Spoons that my girlfriend never delivered that for us on a trip.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that as well. I'm going to
6K bonus.
going to Vegas in January for a wedding. I'll pray Helga can do that. Fuck.
Oh, that's nice, man. Are they getting married at one of those like roadhouse chapels?
I think so, actually.
Oh, that's dope, man.
So I'm not sure, but yeah, I'll be there the 17th for the divisional round.
Oh, it's dope.
Yeah, and apparently that Monday is the national championship. I won't be there for that, but it'll be there jumping nonetheless.
Oh, that's dope, man. That's dope. On behalf of all of us at Pub Sports Radio, thank you guys so much for rocking with us. Go out there and get that cash. Jose, can you please bless our action and lead us into the future?
Yep. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Spoons. Good luck in the vacation. Enjoy it. Wear some sunscreen, Spoons, because I know your ass needs it. And make your plans for old Pubapalooza 5 here. Should be very fun. By the way, for those keeping track at home, yes, we did get to Pubapalooza 5 before Grand Theft Auto 5 came out here. Jimmy, that's a reference. I don't know you would know, but I respect your capping. I wish you luck today.
Thank you.
And I hope that you've played Grand Theft Auto at least once in your life, Jimmy.
Never once. Never one time in my entire life.
Well, you live it, so I guess that's why here. So
Did
shout
have
out
my
to you
car
guys. And again, Jimmy, I'll never forget the day that your car got ganked from you.
Yeah.
Never forget. What a morning that was.
That was tough. That was January 1st.
Oh, God. It was just so... Guys, my car got ganked. What a morning. What a morning that was. Shout out to you, Nasty Nate, everyone. Let's go make some money today and leche. Hey, those bookmakers.